vampires, cultists, psychic phenomena. Never seen anything like it.
This is not the Redfall I remember.
Ever forward! No one is coming to help you. There is no death for us. It's the four of us against the darkness.
No matter how many you kill, there will always be more.
Steal the warm wind, tired friend.
You wish you were one of us. Oh, you wish for it when you die.
Black clothes.
You are in the presence of a god.
And welcome everybody to
What a nice fucking trailer.
Doesn't that trailer look good?
Yeah, it looks like a good trailer. I don't know how the
doesn't that
game's
look
gonna
like
be,
that
but it looks like
game
a
would
great
be
fucking
good?
trailer.
Don't you want to play that game?
No?
Twice.
Is that why Xbox changed their logo? I swear, I'm not making this up, and this is true. I have no idea when games are announced or when they actually release anymore these days, because companies do a horrible time advertising for them now.
So, by that trailer, you would think this baby drops, people would be losing their goddamn mind. You see Redfall.
Well, I mean, the game, it showed what looked like simulated gameplay, because I've seen shit like that before. That ain't gameplay. It's simulated gameplay. You could have at least put in
like
a
me
HUD,
some stimulated
believed
gameplay.
Remember Scorn, Zod? Remember Scorn?
Oh, yeah.
I remember Scorn. Everyone just went fucking jacked off about Scorn, said it's going to be the greatest game ever. Every time I saw anything for it, I'm like, wow, these look like nice trailers. This game's going to suck. And I was fucking right.
I mean, I disagree. I liked Scorn, but it was not what people thought it was going
to be. Pause. What the hell is Scorn?
It was panned up to be this big horror game. Like it was supposed to.
Hold on, Husky. What you meant to say? It was supposed to be some horror game.
So, anyways, we are here to talk about modern gaming.
Welcome.
Modern gaming.
Hold on.
And we actually have brought Cyber Husky from the hibernation and inner dimensions to come back and talk to us, because tonight, as my title suggests, hold on, I'm going to remove myself a second and remove everyone. I want you to read what's in the background.
What happened?
Why do I keep getting out of blast?
Developers charge more for game.
No, what the fuck happened? I came back and you guys were like gone. What the hell?
Industry charges more for games.
The guy doesn't know how to just use the background as a layout.
No,
so
I don't. Anyway,
put us over the top. So he's like, I'm gonna do it the poor man's way. I'm gonna put everybody backstage.
Oh my God. I will never conform.
You mean there's a difference between conforming and learning?
Okay, I'm Kryptonian. I'll never learn either.
Interesting, but yet you want to rule us.
All right, here we go. Let's read this then. Games charge more, but do the developers care less? That's what we're here to discuss. And
Well,
I
that was too easy. Why didn't you do that the first time?
fuck off. I want to say this isn't just maybe even developers. We might be talking about companies in general. I do believe there are some developers that are passionate, but corporate America doesn't give a fuck. There's deadlines, there's time zones, and they don't give a fuck if your game needs about 3 more years to complete. But there's still the question of, are developers being asked too much by porting games to PC as the same as the console release when the game is built for a console?
Well,
and I'm going to deep dive into all of these.
Well, before we deep dive on that, remember when Red Dead came out? They
Yep.
said it's not ready for PC. They said we're releasing it on PlayStation and Xbox, but it's not ready for PC.
Hey, Jane.
Hello, Jane.
Hello,
Jane. It's now available on PC. But they didn't port it to PC right away because they knew it wasn't ready. And
Exactly.
Red Dead is still a critically acclaimed game.
Exactly. But what did Last of Us do? That was until Jedi Survivor and now Redfall came out, considered one of the most horrendous PC launch. This is a game that came out how long ago? Did the first Last of Us game come out? Like years?
Over 10 years ago.
10 years?
No, they keep porting it to everything. It's like it's a part of the Skyrim Grand Theft Auto Club. You just have it. It's on everything. Every system will have it. And I'm getting fucking sick of it. Because I've been tired of the zombie fad for a while.
So what do you mean? Like, do you mean that they've turned them into essentially sports games?
Almost. They're getting so close. They're getting so close.
Well, I mean, if one they turned Call of Duty and Battlefield into frickin' sports games. Like, you're not supposed to get a Call of Duty every year. And actually, you might get 2 in a year because they got the regular Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and then they had Black Ops. So they were going alternating.
Hold on a second before you continue that thought, because Jane Creek brings up the second point to me doing this stream, and it's this conditioning that we're being fed. Right? She says, "I've been playing Warcraft 3 Reforged, and after the issues, it was really awesome. But this is my point. A game for fucking $70
should not have issues.
Should not have issues.
That's why I refused it. I was before Survivor. I didn't know Survivor was coming out. I was bitching about it because I saw the Diablo game and other games. It's like I wouldn't mind paying the $70 if I knew the game was going to work at launch, like the games that came way before the $70.
Okay,
but they brought me to pay $70 for a game that I'm pretty sure isn't going to fucking work.
I mean, my Jedi Survivor worked, but to be fair, I'm only 3 worlds in because I got a fuck ton of shit to do. But
okay, no, this is the point that every single game, even if it's the same game, like you got Call of Duty, and then you have Call of Duty 2. Right? It's the same fucking game. They're just like, okay, we'll give you some different maps. We'll give you a little different story. It's the same fucking game.
We painted it green,
now,
guys.
The amount of development time, to me, is irrelevant. It took them 6 years to make the first Pokemon game, and it's full of fucking glitches. They're all over the place in that game. Shit doesn't work like it's supposed to work. Some shit works opposite to the way it's supposed to work. And they spent 6 fucking years making that game. And it sold like wildfire. So much so that it created the biggest fucking thing of all time. So, when they made Gold and Silver, that had a shorter development time, and it had less glitches. When they made Ruby and Sapphire, I'm not sure if that was shorter than Gold and Silver, but I know it was shorter than Red and Blue, and it had less glitches. Like, there's something to be said for a franchise having its own path and just refining their own system because that is going to eliminate glitches until, and this is the problem, you switch systems.
Yeah, and that's the other part too I want to talk about, and we're going to cover all of that tonight. This is going to be mostly dealing because I found this interesting. There's a big hoopla, right, and people bitching. And look, Cyber, don't take this personally. I fucking hate PC people. You cocksuckers have been the most high and mighty motherfuckers I have
Fuck you,
ever met,
PC
and I
master
mean
race.
that with respect because I got friends who
He doesn't.
swear to God by PC, but still, kind of glad that you've been getting your comeuppance for all the shit you talk about PC Master Race because I've had very few games fail on me on my PS5 since I followed PS since PlayStation 1, so hot on that. But at the same point, I want to say I think it's funny that all the shit they talk, they're getting fucking badass ports, but it's still not fair. It's not fair that somebody, because they're on a PC, constantly, and Husky brought this up to me since what, like 2000? When it comes
It's
to
been through the whole
play-
2000 era. The only game I know in the history of PCs that had an
funny.
excuse.
Amazing, Lucas did say that. I'm sorry, he had a point. Like PC people have been obnoxious to me.
Yeah,
They've been very
there's only
obnoxious.
one PC game I know that had an excuse, and it wasn't because it was fucking broken. It's because it was too powerful, and that was the Crisis game.
Yeah,
Which spawned a meme that says, "Can it run Crisis?" That devolved to it can run Doom. But
Yeah,
that's the only one I've heard of with that. But there's been crap ports for PC.
Dude.
Even the Halo games had shitty ports. I'm looking at you, Gearbox.
And so this brings up a whole nother thing that if you're going to do simultaneous releases, I think Husky has a great point. You can delay the PC release. I'm sorry, PC people. You got shit I will never get, or they'll port like years later, okay? Half the cool fucking games that are out on PC will never see a fucking console. Okay,
Yeah,
so
there's a shit
they
ton of
got
indie
games
games
to
that
hold-
get their startup and come up. It's on PC. That's part of the reason why we say PC
exactly,
Master Race.
Darkest Dungeon.
And some
great
of them
game.
get stuck to PC because they don't get enough revenue, so they can port it to other consoles.
So PC has its built-in games, and what I'm saying is,
Whoa,
on the
whoa, whoa, whoa. Built-in games. Are you talking about Minesweeper?
no, I know, you old fuck.
Goated Minesweeper.
Oh, you have no idea how many hours I sank into that. I was like, this game sucks. Let's do it again.
Yeah, they got modding, and I've been playing Slay the Spire on PC, which also has a modded version, which I'll do after the base game, and it's fucking awesome. They added a new character, the mod community did, and they made it so you could play the bosses in the game. That shit's all cool. PC's got that going for it. But the thing that these companies are making a mistake with consoles is, oh, Spider-Man came out, right? So now it's a big-ass game, and now the PC wants it, but the tech isn't there. And what Spider-Man did smart was they waited a lot of years, took a lot of PC fans to get that, but it was damn near perfect port. No issues, no bugs on launch. And you should do that because I know I'm watching Deep Space Nine Season 6. Oh, that's a good season.
Hello, Q's Queen.
Hey, Kia's Queen. But yeah,
Kia's Queen.
I think that if you are going to do these releases, then lay out the reality that, hey, PC has too many variables, and right now we just can't make this game. But here's the baffling part: Redfall was supposed to be able to do. It was supposed to be a PC launch too. So what the fuck is the excuse there?
And here's the better
Arcade?
excuse,
Wait, that Redfall game's already out?
Yeah. And I'm
Oh.
gonna get
Yeah,
to the
see, this is
reviews
what I
on
told
it.
Zod. I don't
I'm
know
gonna
when
do-
games are announced or released. I didn't know shit about Redfall until Zod just showed the trailer just now. That's a different discussion, though.
Redfall was supposed to be a Microsoft exclusive. If you guys don't know, Microsoft is heavily into the PC game. So this was supposed to be their baby.
So much so,
along
their
with the
first system
Xbox.
was made out of old PC parts.
And Redfall first announced that they were running it at 30 FPS. Are you fucking kidding me?
30's pretty good.
Poke-
30's pretty good.
No, a Pokemon can run at 60 FPS.
No, it cannot. No, it cannot. No. Like, have you ever seen? Have you ever? No. Have you ever seen that fucking windmill? And goddamn, I can never remember the time. It doesn't even move as you're walking up to it. You got 0 frames per second on that windmill. And then by the time you get up to it, you maybe get up to like 3 frames a second, and then it'll jump to 10, and then 15, and then it'll finally go, run smooth at 30. Yeah.
But no, I mean, all joking aside, like a modern game coming out where, and they lied to the consumer at first. They said, "Oh yeah, so we're gonna do 60 frames per second." They shipped it and had to put on the fucking box. Runs at 30. We are currently working on the issue. On the fucking box so they didn't get sued. The shit behind this game is wild. And this proves that either the company or the developer or a little bit of both do not give a fuck about the product they're putting out. PV brought up Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty is like a Madden game at this point, right? They just pump out shit. And you fucking moron Call of Duty fans, I was one of them. Black Ops 3 was when I jumped off shit. But I was an idiot too. I would curse at little kids on the game, okay? I'm not
I never really played it online. Anyway.
I'm not excluded from this discussion. But idiots like us back in the day funded and almost asked the company for the shit they're feeding us now. Because year after fucking year, nothing changed.
Dude, I gotta get mad. You gotta get Madden every year. You gotta, because it's gonna have the updated roster. Everybody's stats are.
Yeah, and those fucking packs, right? The packs you gotta pay money for, and then the season.
No.
You can't get players without the packs.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? I'm talking about. What are you talking about? You have no idea what you're talking about.
I think he's talking about MMOs, maybe.
You're going down some other fucking track. That's not how Madden works at all. What are you talking about, guy?
No, the new Madden has a card system in it. And
I don't give a fuck about the card system. All the players are in the game. I'm talking about the rookie class.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't played Madden since like 2010.
Stop making points about stuff you don't know.
Hey, you're not missing much. It looks exactly like the 2010 games.
It's the same. No, it does not look like. No, it don't look like 2010. 2010 was a good year, man. You had Larry Fitzgerald and Troy Polamalu on the cover. Oh, that's a good game. No, it doesn't. It couldn't possibly look like 2010 because 2016 doesn't even look like fucking 2010.
It doesn't look like it's changed in the 10 years graphics-wise.
No.
These games.
Do you not know what year it is? It is not 2020. 10 fucking years. Do the math.
Yeah,
I'm saying they just use the same fucking graphics.
They do. Add the animations. There's been videos on this. Do not watch the videos about
they
how
could make these games.
So
these players look exactly what they look like in real life at this point, and they don't do it.
No, it is disappointing that they could take all of the players, do the 3D scan, boom, they're in the game.
Yeah, they don't use mocap technology anymore. They don't do those.
But it doesn't matter when you're playing. It doesn't matter when you're playing franchise mode, because if you continue on playing franchise mode, at some point you're going to have a team that is exclusively computer-generated characters. And I'll fucking tell you what, that goddamn team that I had was amazing. You ever had a wide receiver who was 6'7" with 99 speed, 99 acceleration, and 99 agility? Fucking greatest draft of my life.
You know what? Okay, so we're gonna be playing a couple of videos tonight.
Yeah, videos on YouTube, no less.
Yep. And I want to point to a video that was hilarious.
Football League. Yes, it is just basically Madden Monsters. It's true.
And this is to the point. And I think that this this summarizes how cheap everything is, and I'm gonna do it from a reviewer I really like playing because
you want to
he
hear
lays
something
out the
controversial?
points very
You
well.
remember
Huh?
that game Stray?
Yep.
I still believe it deserved Game of the Year.
I mean,
Over what
I would
fucking
contend God of War.
No, here's why I say it deserves
Lemon
Game of the Year.
pie!
Hey, Lemon Pie.
This is why. Hey, Lemon Pie. This is why I believe Stray deserved Game of the Year.
What the fuck is
So many
Stray?
people had a bigger cultural impact than God of War, and everybody just went and played with it, and they loved it because it was a simple game, and it wasn't fucking broken. It worked. It worked. And it
Oh,
deserved that
Joe.
as an independent game.
Okay, so
No, you gotta watch the intro. Oh, he's using the old. Oh, man.
We're gonna watch a whole damn hour video.
It's finally
No.
done.
Uh-huh.
I have
Okay.
completed
Just watch.
my review of Madden 23.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being patient. We got sick, and then we went immediately into Madden 23. This year was particularly difficult. Thank you for supporting the show, guys. Get some merch down below. Subscribe. Do all that. Let me thank my sponsors, G Fuel, who definitely helped me get through this.
This is what I mean. But you need to trick people into your advertising.
Hello,
Like,
Sherry.
That shit is fucking hilarious.
We've got a 30% off.
You're gonna say
discount
hello to Sherry,
right now
dickheads?
below.
Oh, Sherry.
Pick your own up now. It'll help you get through.
I
shit games like
will
this.
not, Joe.
All right, guys. It's a long one.
That's
Last
what I
year
mean
we
by
did
you
an
trick
hour.
people
This
into
year,
watching
pretty
your
much
fucking
an
ads
hour.
video.
I really hope you enjoy. Sit down, get some food, get some drink, and enjoy. Here we go. Headphone user warning.
Well, we gotta take.
Oh,
these out.
God. Yes. That is some great music. I love it. Oh, it's Aaron Donald.
Every year. Every year, the same damn game.
Oh, yeah.
You ask players to pay $70 for what is a free-to-play game, a roster update.
Yeah, look at him go. Look at it glitch. Yeah. He's doing the little side shuffle there.
Which version is this? 26? Oh no, it's 23.
My God, why does the grass look? Why does everything look so terrible? Oh, okay. Hold on. No. It was glitched out for a moment.
Of American football. I am so sick and tired of Madden.
Get out of here with this shit. Let's go.
You don't be
I'm
smack
not
talking
fucking
down.
playing Madden.
What the hell is this shit?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Who the fuck?
Oh,
this
this is
shit.
hair animation.
Everybody
What the
looks
hell?
the fucking same. What the fuck is this?
Hey, not every Minnesotan looks like that.
Every year, the same game. EA wants you to pay $70 for a free-to-play platform, a roster update. Every fucking year. I am so sick and tired of
That's why I
people
downloaded
getting
NHL
just
19 for
expecting
free.
less and paying more. And yet again, the Madden
Oh,
morons are praising its release as
Pause.
the best Madden yet.
Madden 23 just came out. Let's
Pause.
take a look. What's up, boys? It's the new
So-
Madden season.
God damn it, guys.
God, that pack opening animation goes so fucking
It's
hard.
loud as
I'm going to
fuck.
show
Wow,
you
that
once
is a
again
great
how
actor.
exactly Madden is by
That's a paid actor.
Dude, that's one thing that I wanted to do. Like, that was my dream job. I was like, I don't want to make Madden. I just want to be the person sitting in the office saying, okay, keep that feature, get rid of that feature. Keep that feature, get rid of that feature. Because that's what they fucking need. Because every time they like Pokemon in that sense, they come up with something cool. Like 2008, they had the Playmaker option. So you get all these different things, and it'll change their statistics depending on what's going on, what time in the game it is, all kinds of shit. It was amazing. Gave you another thing to work towards as well, and then the next year they got rid of it.
far the worst sports games, far behind all of its competition in other sports genres. Just a greedy, sorry excuse for a cash-in product.
Damn, you got a lot of platinum players in this bundle. Dante Fowler, 80-plus platinum player. Holy shit, there's really so many of these. Isaiah Simmons. Whoa, that was sick. Oh! What about the Pro Platinum Elite bundle? And a 3% chance at an 87-plus. I think I kind of have to go with this. Whoa, that was sick. Oh!
And I swear to God, we give it a fair chance every year. It literally plays the same. It looks the same.
Black Dalton Schultz, right up the middle. Let's go, baby! Hey!
It has the same issues. Actually, the guys at X-Play put in the work to play all the Maddens since Madden 13 to see how similar they feel. And this is them by the end of it.
All right. We just played a little bit of Madden 2021, 2022, all that. We made it to the end of the finish line, boys. How are we feeling? What are our thoughts after playing all these Madden games?
I mean, I regret pitching this idea.
They all feel the same down to the menus. Like they changed a few things graphically and like the intro and that sort of stuff.
Go Packers!
Other than that,
touchdown!
Even Madden fans literally break down and admit that the last 3 games have been so goddamn similar to each other. It is criminal. The very last one being one of the biggest pieces of shit released yet. I have an hour and 10-minute review on it. Go and watch it.
And for the right to play in next Monday's national championship game in Miami.
What the fuck is happening?
Here in New Orleans.
What the fuck is going on?
To a house a whole new meaning. And then they have the gall to call this the most polished Madden ever.
Madden 23 devs promise the most polished version in a long time after years of buggy releases. When speaking to IGN, EA, here's the feedback. They say we are very confident that our game for Madden 23 is going to be the most polished version of.
I love it when companies say it because you know it's bullshit. I can smell the bullshit amount when they say that shit. Run.
Yes.
Is Zod muted?
I don't fucking know.
I can't hear him.
No.
Zod, we can't hear you. Turn on your mic.
He said, give it uno momento, por favor.
God damn it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I was saying, they say every year, we swear, this year, this is the year. This is the year. We're going to
let's run. It's just like when you go into some like a job and they say this is a family. Run.
Okay, now to be fair, with Madden, I'm like 8 years behind. I'm in either like 2015 or 2016. I'm a PS3, and because it's a sports game and I don't really give a fuck, I'll just keep playing that one. I played 2011 for 5 years.
And I mean,
I played 2003 for like the lifespan of the PS2.
Well,
someone tried convincing me a later title was better. I'm like, no, man, 2003 was great.
What's 2003? Eddie George? Or is that 2001? Shit. Because 2002. 2000. Oh, then if it's Rams on the cover 2003, that's Marshall Faulk.
All right.
Okay.
It started, and the thing is, when you turn that
Pepper.
bitch on, it played Andrew WK's Party Hard, and you were like, yeah!
Oh my god, that had one of the greatest fucking soundtracks in any Madden they've ever made. 2003 is amazing.
No, I love that. That's like just something you just put the game in.
2005 is pretty good, but 2003, fucking chef's kiss. Couldn't ask for a better soundtrack for playing football. It's amazing. And 20 years later, the game is worse.
The game
is... people? What the fuck? Like, just watching what we've seen already, I was like, what's going on with the grass? Why is his foot, like, through the floor? Why have we not figured out what the fucking plane is yet?
Exclusive deals, too.
God damn.
So, like, you know, EA has Madden and the NHL 2K has baseball and basketball, and all those games are suffering. And it was like, one time it was like Scotty Armstrong. He was talking about his favorite version of the MLB games was one of the Madden ones because they had this great system set up, and then it's been 2K and it's been garbage.
Oh yeah, well, since they made the split, it hasn't been the same because
they don't compete
paid
with each
for
other.
it.
They
EA,
don't try to be better than the other one.
I mean, you remember what NFL 2K5 was, right?
No, I never played the 2K one.
It had that little wherever it happens in that Joe video where it had that little ESPN intro. Did you see that little ESPN intro, Sports Center? Yeah.
Yep.
You get that presentation in 2005. Like, there's a whole little freaking clip show. Now, to be fair, since it was 2005 and is running on the PS2, like, it's not it'll show you a highlight from a game and you're like, wow, that looks awfully familiar to last week. Because it is very familiar. They just changed the numbers and colors on the jersey because they could only program so many into it. But with the horsepower you got now, you could, if it's a separate team, you could create a play out of nothing and it would never look similar because it would be randomly computer generated. I mean, the odds of it being the same are unbelievably low. Or if it's a highlight from your game, boom, you see it again. It'd be fucking amazing.
That's the other thing too. We're getting to an advancement with AI. People have seen AI script writing, AI art. There's
GPT.
AI being able to. There's AI streamers out there. Like,
oh yeah,
and it's getting to such a point. And there's ChatGPT. There's such a point where this AI is so advanced. And like, should we put it into our game to make these players like really smart and all these decisions? And you can have a computer that learns you and gets better with your skill growth. Or do we just kind of make the same garbage? Let's make the same garbage. Like, fuck, we have AI that can do something awesome and amazing.
But
and it's like, we're not going to use it.
Yeah, but Husky, what's cheaper? The advanced AI and porting it into the game and getting it to jive with your technology, or just giving those stupid Madden players who just go, "Me want Madden."
You gotta go more. You gotta more. Go. Me want Madden.
I want Madden. I want Call of Duty. That's what they think. Like, look, I'm not being an asshole, but that's how the company see you. Because if they didn't,
and the
they'd
reason
give
why
you
I
a
mentioned
good
this too,
product.
Zod, is Alien Isolation. But the thing that sold Alien Isolation to so many people, besides the way the game struck, is the Alien. It was an advanced AI that would learn you.
Oh yeah, that
where
thing
you
scares the
hide
fuck
and
out
stuff.
of me.
So they said you can't constantly hide in one spot, otherwise you
I
can
got a
hide your spot again because it would always look there.
I got a question for you, Rubes. What do you think the final boss is in Pokemon?
A Pokemon
Which version?
Technically it's the same in Scarlet and Violet. They just have different names.
Oh, is it? I think I've seen the spoiler. I think I've seen spoilers. It's the fucking professor on an AI or something.
It's an AI! No, it's just an AI. At that point, the person has been dead for a long time, and it's just a robot. Like, holy fuck!
Like, here's the thing that gets me, is that I think, and I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback from this, and I hope I get gamers who comment on this video too, because this pertains to you.
Yes, you're the most discriminated podcast to comment.
I think that the consumer is just as to blame as the company, because every year the company gives you shit, and the only way they will stop giving you shit, and we say this about Star Wars, we say this about movies, right, in general. If you stop seeing something, if you stop buying something, then the company will not make it. But you've got these built-in fan bases of these fucking idiots who will go online and defend a shitty product. And as long as the company knows, there's even a small pocket of idiots who are willing to spend $70 fucking and get ass raped. They will keep on producing shit.
I wouldn't be.
I showed you that.
No. I wouldn't be getting ass raped. I keep my wallet in my front pocket.
I sent you that video once.
It's more like getting thigh molested.
I sent you that guy once. The Synth Man.
You sent him a man?
Yeah, that was his channel's name. I think it was. It is like profile.
Okay, well that's not, okay. Well, you literally just said that you sent him a man, and to me that sounds like human trafficking.
Anyways, the video. I remember sending it to Zod, and I said, "This is a good video." And he said, "Why you are ruining gaming?"
As in Zod.
Blame towards the consumers for accountability. And yeah.
Oh yeah, because he just keeps on paying for his fucking mobile games.
As it is for. Because some people just buy a broken ass game. It's like I debated about buying Cyberpunk 2077 because it was broken, but I'm like, no, I'm not spending that much money. I'll buy it when it's less than $15.
No, I can't not buy Pokemon. I can't not buy Pokemon.
And
I fell so far behind again. Like I gotta start rebuilding memories. All my memories got robbed from me, motherfuckers. And I'm not talking about Pokemon. I'm talking about the people that literally robbed me. Took all my games and DS.
But here's the thing, though.
Oh,
with Pokemon, you guys have gotten, for the most part, besides that last release, pretty consistently unbroken games. I'm talking.
No, they're all broke. They all got every single Pokemon game got problems. Some of them are worse than others, and some of them are better.
There's channels dedicated to finding glitches in Pokemon.
No, there's a difference. There's a difference between going out and finding glitches and then the glitches just like smacking you.
Finding you.
Like in the previous generation, like they still haven't entirely figured out draw distance. Like everything needs to be there, and even if it's way of like if Snorlax is a kilometer away, I should be able to see a dot on the other side of the valley. I should be like, oh, there's a big fucking blue dot right there. I wonder what that could be. Like, I should be able to see that. I shouldn't be running along, and then I was like, holy fuck, where'd you come from? But I don't know. I haven't figured out the way because of how Pokemon works, that when you had the battle screen separate from the overworld, you didn't have to worry about, okay, how does stuff get there and how does stuff leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because they constantly have Pokemon spawning into the map, especially when you're shiny hunting. They're spawning in like crazy. So it's just popping out of nowhere. You see nothing there, and then all of a sudden, something's there. Whatever fucking Pokemon it is. I don't know how I feel about that. To me, it doesn't. You want the game to give you the feel of the anime. And it used to do that because it was sprite-based. So then you had to imagine what was going on. Now that it's 3D, and I don't know how many times I made this freaking point, it's not the same feel because I'm just looking at my Pokemon standing on the battlefield, waiting to get smacked in the face. Whereas I can yell to Bulbasaur to dodge, but then he jumps out of the way. You can't do that. You just hope that it doesn't hit, and then nothing happens. Just nothing happens.
They should really do that with the current ones in 3D.
Can you imagine all of these moves? Like, let's use an easy one, right? Flamethrower. Everybody understands how flamethrower works, no matter what the Pokemon is. So let's just imagine for a moment that they're still just sitting there on the battlefield, right? Sitting there, and he throws the flamethrower, and you see the other Pokemon jump to the side, and the flamethrower misses. You're like, yeah, my evasion upgrade worked. Excellent. You see it happen. You don't see that happen. Just nothing happened. You're like, yeah, he used flamethrower, but it missed. And I was like, he didn't use fucking shit. Like, I didn't go anywhere. What do you mean he fucking missed? Nothing happened. What do you mean he missed? I know what flamethrower looks like, and there ain't no fucking flamethrower on the screen. And you want to tell me that no shit, he fucking missed? He didn't even goddamn try. He's like, I don't think it's gonna work out, but I am going to take that 1 PP off of the move. God damn it.
And this is what I mean about You summed it up perfectly about game design and a sense of laziness, especially with established franchise. Now, Husky, I'm going to get to a painful subject for you because I
Yes.
know we did this for a while and then it fell off a fucking cliff. But when we bring this up, of course, we got to bring up, to me, Microsoft's and 343's biggest fucking failure ever.
Halo Infinite.
Fucking Halo Infinite. What, like,
I'm still pissed off. I never completed the campaign because I played it and I'm like, oh, I want to do a little more. Oh, no, it's the same fucking multiplayer that it was in the pre-release. They never, when the game released, I was expecting for a bunch of maps to drop. I was expecting for all the game modes I loved from other Halos, like Infection. What is it? Yeah, Infection. Infection is a fun game mode that you can just play with your friends, right? And other custom game, and it's not there. It was not there at all. I think they just released Forge, and I even fucking said it. I left it on my archive channel. They need to delay Infinite because of Forge. Because it hurt Halo 5, and I knew it was going to hurt Halo Infinite. And with the little amount of maps they had, it would have been saved by Forge if Forge was there when it came out. Because all the people would have just made a bunch of fucking maps, and everybody would have been happy. And we're like, yeah, I'm playing on Forge. This fucking weird Forge map is great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you could
there's some people that make some really good maps. Some people do a really good job recreating the old ones, too.
Own fucking map, which would take pressure off the devs to create new shit and just let the Halo players go nuts. But what did they do? And Husky,
the Halo players still went nuts.
Oh yeah,
fun kind.
Yeah,
it's not the fun. Not like the way they were wanted. And Husky, biggest slap in the face. What did they say? They said, "Oh yeah, we are bringing back co-op play, like couch play, right? Lane play."
Yeah.
Yeah, the split screen play, which we thought was going to be there on release.
It's going to be there on release. If I had PB come over and I had an Xbox and motherfucker was like, "Hey, what's the big deal about this Halo thing?" I could be like, "Hey, PB, grab my second control there. Let's play some fucking Halo." And PB would be like, "Fuck yeah, let's do this." Right? But not with Halo Infinite. Why? Why couldn't they do that?
I don't know, because they had some issues with the co-op and how they should spawn. When I thought to myself, it could just do it like what was it, Borderlands? They even debated about that. It's like, man, you could do it like Borderlands.
Borderlands could do it. Borderlands. I don't even like Borderlands 3.
And you had they programmed a revive option in Halo 5, so you could have gone over to your buddy and revive him quickly.
Hey, guess what? Guess what, PB? If you want to play Borderlands 3, all you have to do is come over. I can hook up another controller, and guess what? You can experience Borderlands 3, because you know what it has in it, PB? Guess what Borderlands 3 has? And 2, and the original. Take a wild guess. What do you think the games have?
Killing?
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of it.
That's my favorite part, is killing.
Fucking co-op. They have
couch co-op. Couch co-op.
Yeah.
They have couch co-op.
No, I played 1 and 2. I played 1 and 2.
And that offshoot, the little
dude, like, don't get me fucking started. Don't get me fucking started on goddamn couch co-op, because, like, how can something that's been like a staple of gaming, it's like, hey man, you wanna play Pong? Couch co-op. Unfucking believable.
First one out there with it. It was
That's what I'm
PvP
saying.
at the time.
Dude,
okay, like couch co-op is the best kind of co-op. Like, it's way easy to go from couch co-op to playing online. Like, that's easy. I feel like it's way easier to do the co-op option because it's been set up for years and years and years and years. And sure, some of the coding is going to change because of the system, but you still have a basic understanding of what you got to implement instead of building something from
Lego
scratch.
games can do it, so can you, dumbasses.
Oh man, and the Lego games do it so fucking seamlessly. It's like add a controller, boom, it's 2-player. It's done.
A fucking Lego game. A Lego game could have.
Whoa. It sounds like you're trying to disparage Legos, and Legos are amazing.
No. I'm saying.
What's your favorite Lego game?
Obviously, Star Wars. Got that fucker on PC. The Star Wars trilogy. I ignore the last ones. I just play.
Oh yeah, I still haven't played that.
Yeah, I haven't beaten the Skywalker.
They coded a bug. That game. I remember hearing something, and it pissed me off when I heard it. It had a glitch, but it was one of those fun glitches that didn't break the game, where you could basically. And people used it to just clone themselves an army of clone troopers and stormtroopers and stuff to follow them around. And then they coded that. I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. You should have just left that stupid bug in or allowed me to have the option to have a fucking army of clones follow me around. I want an army of clones following me the fuck around.
Like, it amazes me that a game...
What about now? Is it louder?
Yeah, because I turned my gain up. Hopefully that's a little bit louder. It amazes me.
No, you didn't need to. You're the one who needed to be louder.
I mean, you saw me pull it up. Janie Davis said.
I read it wrong. My bad.
Mike's a bit quieter. Yeah. I'm kind of doing like a fucked up angle.
He's loud as fuck to me, Husky. Is he not loud as fuck to you?
I can hear him now.
Like, he's way fucking louder than you are to me.
All right.
Way fucking louder.
But, like, here's the thing, okay? If Lego can crack the code, and I'm not saying they're using, like, God of War graphics, okay?
Whoa,
so I
disparaging Lego.
They have style art. They have stylized graphics, which is just as good.
Yeah.
It's a completely different thing, and it's so fucking crisp.
But look, I'm not disparaging. I'm saying it's not like a game like Halo or something like that, okay? It's fucking Legos, let's be real. But if
it's not meant to look real. Right, it's not meant to look real.
It's not meant to be some kind of award-winning piece. It's not the Elden Ring, okay? It's nothing like that. But if they can do it, and make no mistake, that artwork, like you gentlemen jumped on my dick before I finished, that artwork takes a lot of time, right? Would we all agree that whether you're talking God of War or Legos, it's still the same type of care and shit and animation that they both have to put into their games, right? Still the same amount of work, still the same amount of detail. Still sleepless hours, right?
Right.
Both teams are doing the same shit. But yet, Legos can somehow still have co-op, and fucking Halo can't crack the code since when, Husky? Since 343 took over.
No. People knock on them. They did a good job on Halo 4.
Yeah, okay. But, I mean, I give it...
They did a good job on Halo 4.
Halo
5 has been bad.
I'm not a big fan of the Forerunners, so I guess that's more of a story thing. But yes, from a technical aspect, the Halo
Forerunner is the best story.
I don't like the Forerunners.
That's the whole purpose of Halo.
I did.
Is to tell the Forerunner story.
Well, I just don't think they're that interesting. But anyways, that's probably a debate for another day. We could debate the nuances of the Halo storyline. But
you know what we can't debate?
What can't we debate?
The TV show, because none of us finished watching it.
We could all agree that sucked dick. Dude, no, I finished
you
it.
Didn't need to watch that to know
You finished it?
I finished it.
You finished
on purpose?
I had to see if I was going to actually...
What did the chick do? Tell me what the chick did. Did the chick bone? Did she bone? Well, no. Did the blonde chick who lived with the freaky deaky aliens bone Master Chief or not?
Oh yeah, there was a war crime. They fucked, like, they showed everything. You saw Master Chief. They fucked. There's no...
That's what I think. But I think Master Chief's out there just giving it to the bitches. Never thought that about Master Chief in my life. But you watch 2 fucking episodes of that show, and you're like, these 2 are gonna bone, aren't they? That's gonna be.
Oh yeah, they fuck.
Because I believe canonically they're sterile.
Well,
then you know that you're just having fun though. I mean, that's whoa.
Like,
all right.
So here's where I'm conflicted, because should Master Chief get ass? Well, he has saved humanity, so you know.
No, he hasn't done it yet. He has to do it. No, that's the first thing he does after Halo 3. He gets out and he bones the first chick he sees. That's how that should work. He saved the galaxy then.
I don't know the newest Lego game that I played. It's not.
Yeah, that's true. I played the new Star Wars. They do. I heard
that's something too. It's not like the Lego games try to be the exact same. There's a lot of similarities as it go, but they try to reinvent themselves with each title, which is something Halo used to do really well.
I mean, they're all similar they're all similar in the sense that you're going around collecting the things, trying to unlock the bonus.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the level, you got to collect so many points and not die so many times that you get enough freaking coins that you get whatever that game's version is.
You're welcome. Anyways, let's get back to Master Cheeks. I'm sorry, Master Chief.
Oh my God,
no.
Johnny Rings.
PB, once you see Master Chief's ass, you can't unsee that.
John,
you can't.
Jimmy
I have seen people die in my life. I've seen war zones. And you know what? The one thing I'll never fucking forget in my life, PB? You know the one thing?
Master ass.
when I'm lying on my deathbed and little dictator comes up to me and goes, Dad, what's the most horrible thing you've ever seen in your life? You know, you're dying, I want to know. I'm going to look at her and I'm going to go, let me tell you the story of Halo, the television show.
Oh, you could just probably find it somewhere on I don't know what the.
It's gonna be in the archives of the darkest days of Master Chief's life. It's just gonna show him boning that fucking chick. And look, I'm not saying.
Wait, and then he whoa. Okay, so they boned, and then he killed her.
No, she got killed. Oh God, why are you making me really live this? She got killed.
She got stabbed by a Sangeli sword.
Yeah, she died. Basically, she existed for no fucking reason when you watch the whole show, because
that sounds about right.
I was trying to make another sexual joke, PB. That's why
I missed it. I didn't hear what you said. I don't know.
She got stabbed by a Sangeli sword.
What am I supposed to know what that is?
Well, they have an energy sword.
Yeah.
And I was saying a Sangeli sword because the Sangeli is the elites in Halo. One of the big alien factions. They're the big guys. They're the big guys with the mandibles.
No, I know what the fuck it is. Like, I know what it is. I don't know what the name is, guy.
Okay. Sangeli. Got stabbed by a Sangeli sword. Wham!
Look, the little dictator is cold-blooded. Who asked that? I'm a dying person. The little dictator is cold-blooded and... Dad said, "Yeah, little dictator is cold-blooded. Like
she's behind you."
No. Actually, so tonight, and I don't need your life story. Tonight, we're going down this road. Tonight, the little dictator has her first prom, and that's why she's not here with me.
And Zod's going to kill the boyfriend when he gets back.
Oh yeah, I've already started background checks on this little fucker. I don't know who he is.
You're so fucking full of shit.
I don't know who he is. But...
Wait, is there actually a boy?
Yes. She said she was asked to the prom.
Good luck.
And so this is how she texts me. And at first, you know how you read something.
Why are you telling this story right now?
We're talking about games.
We're gonna listen to my pain. Okay, I've been dealing with this emotional shit all week, so I'm gonna let it out. So here we go, okay? So I'm sitting there at work on fucking day number 7 because I was covering bitchy. And I get this cute text from my daughter. And she says, I'm sorry, Dad, I won't be able to come over. So I text back, oh, why can't you come over? It's fine. And she was like, I'm going to the prom. And I'm like, yippee, you're going to the prom? Great. She goes, yeah, I got
motherfucker.
So she said, I got asked to the prom and I'm going to go. And it's this Friday, blah, blah, blah. And you know how you read something and then you go, whoa, wait a second. Cause you do that double take. I was like, wait, what do you mean you got asked?
God went, wait, what the fuck? I want to kill him. He's like, oh, that sounds great. Oh, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him.
And then she replied with, LOL, I'll send you pictures, Dad. I love you. So that was the conversation that I had. And of course, I flew up into the air. I destroyed a couple plants. And yeah, it was a Brightburn scene. I was fucking disheveled. And so when I see the little dictator, I gotta get very vivid details of the whole entire night and find out who this person is very covertly, basically by saying, so who's the young man who asked you out? What's his name? What's his social security number? What's his blood type? Why do I need to know his blood type? Because is he a universal donor? Is he not? This shit matters.
You gotta give it to Nick Cage because Nick Cage is a vampire right now.
Nick Cage, motherfucker.
Oh my God! Call up Nick Cage. Be like, Nick, it's ready. It's time to roll. We got work to do. We gotta take a little bastard out. So, I'm sorry, got way off track. So, Halo.
You don't say.
All of these are symptoms, but there was a disastrous launch starting with Jedi Survivor. There were lots of glitches, apparently unplayable on PC. And, to be fair, console users also had glitches. Now, the game was delayed a year, and I said, good, Respawn gets it. They don't want to put out a shitty product, right? Now, their apology...
Here's the catch. Remember who their publisher is. Who is Respawn's publisher, ladies and gentlemen? Say it. You know who it is. You know who it is.
Go ahead. Take it away, Husky. Who's Respawn's publisher? Don't keep us waiting.
EA.
EA.
If it's in the game, we fucked it up.
Remember we were talking about one of their sports games earlier? Yes, you do.
Yes, the same company that brings you the same shit every year with Madden.
EA used to have a good name to it once upon a time, believe it or not.
Yep, once
it hasn't had that name in a long time. I used to look at them. Oh, it's a pretty decent game.
At General Zod's Phantom Show, I'm trying to decide if he's going to dispose of the body or recycle it.
Is Mike muted again?
What a dickhead. Mid-sentence and everything. What a fucking professional. Like, goddamn.
God damn it.
Oh, there we go.
You could have screamed a bunch of racial slurs and nobody would have known why you were muted.
That's true. He did that.
So, I'm starting with Jedi Survivor because this is the kickoff for Xbox's downward spiral that we've seen in fucking under a week. It's actually fucking astonishing. So,
hey, PlayStation had its downward spiral earlier this year. It's Xbox's turn.
Yep. And so now we had Jedi Survivor launch in a shitty state. Now, underneath all that, and given what I've played, it's a great game. The problem is, and I feel bad for Respawn, because based on the system and how they built the game, there's nothing wrong with the gameplay or the story. It's the technical. And in that sense, I think that EA, being the fucking cunts that they are, sorry, JD, this is my one use of that word, because I know you hate when we use it, but they're fucking cunts. EA fucking probably said, oh, May 4th is coming around the bend. Star Wars. And the fucking, we saw last week, the fucking the Star Wars Celebration, right? We got to release this game.
Oh,
We got to
yeah.
get it out. We got to throw out Jedi Survivor. Mandalorian went down in fucking flames because the third season was ass, right? So we got to put
I
out
didn't
some
finish
good.
that. It was that bad.
It was
Uh,
ass.
To me, I thought the season as a whole was garbage, but there were a couple good episodes in there. Everybody else is fucking drinking.
I know there was
Um,
Wizzle in there. I'm like, oh yeah, I know that one's gonna be horrible.
It
No,
wasn't
the season-
garbage. Episode 3 is terrible. It
Yeah,
might
and
be-
so
it
was the Lizzo
might be-
episode.
ep-
The Lizzo
episode-
Shit,
episode.
episode
no, no,
3.
no,
I
no.
watched the first
Episode
one. I'm like,
3.
oh, this isn't that bad. I watched like the first episode. I'm like,
No,
this isn't that bad.
episode 3
It's going
might
downhill.
be the worst episode of Star Wars television made on any of the shows. Like, worse than all of Boba Fett's, worse than all of the stupid shit that you see in Kenobi. It's so bad. And I was like, why?
So you
Why?
can see that there was
How?
corporate meddling in season 3. and they
How
didn't give
did
them
you
3 like
turn
they did in the
5
first
minutes into 45 minutes? I don't get it, and I will never get it. Like, holy fuck, man. You see the Mandalorian at the beginning of the episode, and then
Oh,
it's no more
guess what?
Mandalorian.
JD
Goddamn.
Davis.
It only bothers me when it's pointed at a woman. I was trained for feminism early. Companies can be cunts.
Good, they're all cunts. We can call every
Wait a
company
second,
a
wait
cunt.
a second, wait a second. Well, I thought feminism meant equality.
Yes.
I mean, they're equally
We're all
cunts.
cunts.
Yeah, they're cunts equally, PP.
Yeah,
I never, like, I don't think anybody understands what feminism's meant to be. Because, like, they be going down a weird road that has nothing to do with video games.
But, at any rate.
Back to video game. We
At
gotta start
any
shit.
rate.
Come on, we're doing good. We're shitting on these companies just like we shit on celebrities. Come on, let's keep fucking shitting on the companies.
So, anyways, so Respawn comes out, right? And I'm
Oh,
sure
good for Respawn.
an EA spokesperson had a gun to this
Right?
fucking dev's head. And they say, well, the problem is when you're porting to PC, there's so many different rigs and things like that. And I understand the argument, but there's the other coin to that argument. If you know that there's a lot of different tech, then you don't release it or force a release the same day as the console. You go, hey guys, yeah, there's a bunch of PCs out there, and we can't accommodate them all. And the ones we accommodated still run like shit. So we're just going to delay this a bit so you get the best quality we can get. And oh, FYI, there's still some bugs on consoles. So we're going to fix that first, and then we're going to give you the PC port that has quality, right? Or fuck it, less bugs, because then they could just patch
Dude,
it.
I'm buying this game when it's
at
like
least
$30.
fucking runnable.
I thought my younger brother already got it. He said he'll game share it with me. I'm like,
You know who doesn't have to worry about ports and nails it every time?
Who?
Nintendo.
MoviePalette.com!
I got it.
While you do that promo, I'm going to use the restroom. Go ahead.
And if you go there right now and put in code ZONE15, you can save 15%. Oh, why would you make a noise during the promo? 15% on any movie palette that they have, on top of any current sale. Guaranteed to arrive before Christmas. Hey, there you go. You got it covered then. And you'd have the wall covered too, because you'd have a beautiful movie palette from MoviePalette.com. Oh my God! Now I'm here. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's like those.
So,
almost
yes,
I don't know where the dog went.
Thank you to MoviePalette.com.
I followed Zod to the bathroom.
Good dog. Good dog.
So thank you, MoviePalette.com, for promoting the channel and sponsoring us. We appreciate you. And now back to douchebag companies. The worst thing that you can do is make a half-assed apology. And I want to do a little thing because Redfall released broken. Not only is it 30 fucking FPS, but it runs like garbage. Not just on the computer,
Oh, wait,
but
Zod, was
apparently,
Redfall a Bethesda game?
yes. And I mean, we know.
There you go. There you go.
We know the deal with
There
Bethesda.
you go. That's the problem right there. And they used to have a good name too, just like EA. They haven't had it in a long
Before
time.
Fallout 76.
Some people said it was a little bit before, but I'm like, nah, it was really nailing the coffin with Fallout 76.
It's Bethesda and Arcade Studio.
They're
So
all laurel resting. Yep,
So-
that's what I said.
so we
Amazing
are
shit.
going to break down and analyze all
What?
41 minutes of this Phil Spencer interview because I think it's
You gotta
very
be. Whoa, did you just say we're gonna EFAP Phil Spencer?
yes, we are.
Yep.
We're going in hard. boys.
I'm gonna fucking fall asleep. I am gonna fall asleep.
We're gonna go
Kinda
Yeah,
funny.
Phil, we'll start with you. What up, homie? How are you?
Pause.
Truth be told, I've had easy.
Homie.
Yep.
And he
Yeah.
said it to the white guy.
He said it to Big Phil.
How progressive of him.
Here a couple of weeks. It'll be a good discussion. I'm always happy to come on, talk to XCast. You guys do an amazing job talking to the community, keeping it real. So it's an honor
He
to
said
be on.
keeping
with you
it
guys.
real.
Thanks, Phil. Of course, you have been on a number of kind of
lot of white boy energy in this room.
Keep it real, Phil. God dang.
Original problem, you're breeding controversy with every apology. I agree.
So by the way, the only person I know in this
Lemon Pie
interview
says
is Phil.
real
So who's
homie.
everybody else? I don't know who everyone else is. I'm sorry.
This is from the X Play podcast. There,
I don't see the
they're
little
kinda
name
funny.
tags underneath everybody. I need the name tags over everybody. So Phil doesn't need it because I know who he is.
everybody knows Phil. I don't know.
Everyone knows
these
Phil. You know, I don't know anyone else. I don't.
the funny content, but this is the first time you have joined us with the XCast here with the Green Team. So we appreciate your time
Green
and being here with
We're
me.
gonna have
My
one
two
of beat
gaming
the shit
dads.
out
Of
these
course, I'll
guys
go
at the
around the
end,
room.
Zod.
Paris Lily, how are you
Yep,
today?
just- you gotta
Oh, I'm
pause
doing
right now.
fantastic.
I wanna beat the shit out of everyone in the room. So that's two people. It's two people. I said the room. Phil Spencer and the guy next to him, they aren't in the same room as these two. I think I just want to beat the shit out of the dude in the Xbox sweater, but I'm not sure yet. This might be the killer robot coming out, but I want to beat the shit out of someone right now.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
As you already said, thank you, Phil, for coming on this episode. Greg Miller, instead of going on your show, finally he is on the actual Xbox show for Kind of Funny. So I'm very excited and appreciative of that. Looking forward to the conversation.
Big deal. Gary Witta, you have a green juvie today. You're feeling the green.
Yeah, this kiwi straw is not my favorite flavor, I don't think, but it was the only one you had in the fridge. You know, the price was right, so I grabbed one.
You love a free energy.
Okay, I want to say I like that guy because he kind of reminds me of Stevie.
That's what he said. But you think that guy sounds Australian? He sounds fucking British to me.
I don't know. He sounds like a weird mix.
Jamie will tell us.
At Cybernetic Husky, I thought you wanted to kill everyone you see with your cybernetic eye.
Yes, I mean that's why I'm here. But you know, I gotta you can't just go to kill. You got sometimes some people get death priority. You know. It's sorry, but some people get first priority on the death list. I'm sorry, that's how it works.
You know me, LJ. I don't care what it is if it's free.
I'm happy you're back, Gary. And we have a really fun conversation and discussion to be had with you and the team. I see you got your book. Why don't you plug that book really quick for us?
Oh, no, I didn't bring this in to plug it. I just had a spare copy. I was going to give it to someone, but no, Gundog.
Okay, so full of shit, but I will give him
Damn, man, we haven't
for
even
the
shit on the game today. We're just shitting on
No,
these two
that's
assholes.
bullshit. Just be honest.
He was like, "Oh, my book? No, I carry my
Or
book
be
wherever
funny.
I go." should I need to plug it, then I can tell you about my book. That'd be like me walking to the store with my
We should
fucking awesome movie
Books
palette.
by Jay isn't here. We should tell her to totally fucking do that.
Be like,
walk everywhere
"Oh,
with
wait,
your
what's
books,
this?"
so then you can always say, "Oh, this is my book," and fucking. I just was waiting for someone to say something.
It's like,
Ah.
so Lemon Pie says he sounds NZ, which I'm gonna say North Zealand.
New
North
Zealand.
Zealand, North
New
Zealand.
Zealand. New Zealand.
man.
New
Aren't you
Zealand.
a Lord of the Rings
It's-
fan?
What am I supposed to?
New Zealand.
Aren't
We
you a
actually
Lord
had a
of the
small
Rings
change in the
fan?
publishing date comes out August 1st. You can pre-order it right now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere quality books are sold.
I love that. You're
Yeah.
just bringing the book around now. I like that.
You
You
just
don't
carry
want
it
to
around,
promote
yeah.
it. You just carry the book around.
Yeah.
All right. Good for you. I like that. Well, of course, this is the Kind of Funny Xcast. We post each and every Thursday at 6 a.m. West Coast, Best Coast time.
Okay, I don't care.
Yeah, this is just a plug. This intro's a
With
plug. Let's
Phil
get to the actual
Spencer.
thing where
It's
it's
going to
a
be
start.
a fun time together. Bill, let's just jump right into it. And it's a tough way to start this episode. It's my birthday this week, and I didn't want to have to do
Oh
it
my
like this. But
God.
Bill, it's a
Shut
tough week in the Xbox universe.
saying
As
that to
you
a
know,
character in the
of course,
game,
the
but they were
CMA
programmed to be
kind
annoying
of
in the
blocking
game,
our
so
acquisition of Activision Blizzard King and Redfall coming out to poor reviews at the launch. Let's start off at the top. Phil, let's talk about the CMA and, of course, this Activision Blizzard acquisition. How are you feeling about this? What should be the overall mindset for X?
Okay,
I
so
didn't, okay, pause. I gotta. Before he gets into this question, which is taking fucking forever. I do not like this setup because it makes it seem like everybody is meant to be there in the studio with how they have them on the screen instead of having
Yeah.
the two guys like in their own box on one side looking at the screen and the other two guys in their own boxes on the other side looking at the screen, so that I don't think like they're sitting shoulder to shoulder. So it makes me think that he's going to look to his right to talk to the guy, but he's not because he's looking him straight in the face. Isn't that,
Yeah,
it's
it's kinda
not very good. It's fucking with my mind. Anyways,
Okay, so Husky, because we both have probably been following this, but what is this acquisition they're talking about? Because this is pretty big
Oh yeah,
news.
that's the Blizzard Activision acquisition, which I'm still cheering for because everybody remembers the fucking controversy with Activision, don't you?
Oh yeah, we talked about it. And
You know,
Blizzard.
a controversy every time it
Exactly.
comes up, they have to do something. They have to do some stupid PR shit they pull out of their fucking ass because they pull it out of their ass every fucking time, and then it's always Overwatch that gets affected. for some
Yeah,
reason. And then they say this character gets this whole character change. It's like, why couldn't you said that when it was released?
So basically,
Like, yeah,
Blizzard and
that's a whole
Activision
nother
have been sexist fucks, proven sexist fucks. There
Like,
was even a case-
not saying that women are horrible drivers type of sexist fucks, like sexual harassment sexual.
Yeah,
no,
like
not all women are Asian. I get it.
no, we were saying that there was a girl in Blizzard who literally, and we covered this
There was more
a
than
while
one.
back.
That was like a Cosby scenario.
Yeah, she killed herself because of the abuse that her male colleagues put her through. Like, ended her fucking life, and they swept it under the rug. Like,
And
very
you know why I'm
horrendous.
cheering for Microsoft to do it? Because they've openly said they're gonna fucking clean house once the acquisition goes through.
Yeah,
That's
so
why I'm like, people are like monopoly this, monopoly that. Like, I don't care. It could be bought by Microsoft. It could be bought by Sony. It could be bought by Apple. If anyone who's buying them says they're gonna fucking clean that fucking house, do it. I don't care.
oh yeah, so Big Phil has been trying to take it. Now, this is where I feel a little ashamed about Sony. They've been trying to cock block Big Phil for a couple of months now, and they've been going around and the I believe it's Britain or one of them is giving them a hard
It's
time.
one of the British. It's one of the British
British.
governments. Not
So
one
it's
of the
giving them a
European
hard
governments.
time.
You know it's going to end up going through because it's a British government.
But it's hilarious because Big Phil makes a threat here, and I'll pause it when we get to it. But he basically says, "Yeah, we do all your technology, including defense contracts." And the way he says it, look at like,
I
watch
don't
your
wait to
whistles
laugh
to
at
work.
it because I know my grandpa. I know how to use a PC because I'd go over to my Well, I learned a little better when I got in school and I had hands on with it in high school. But my grandpa had a PC and he still had it through the end of his life and stuff. And my grandmother used it, and it was Windows. There were always Windows.
Yep.
And I know he had that because he was in the
motherfucker.
Navy and they had to use computers, and one of them was Windows. And it was
So-
early Windows, I believe, too, because when he learned it, because that was near the end. He
And this
retired
is why
in
I'm
the 90s.
playing this whole interview, because I want to highlight some things. Now, that part I thought was funny. It's like a threat, almost a blackmail, but not really, because Phil is he's a wordsmith, and you'll see that in this interview.
He has a good word.
The way
He's
he
really
says
good at
it,
doing shit. I love his E3 presentations that we'll never see again because he'd always I don't know. He was really good. It was like Xbox became the only enjoyable E3 presentation after a while, which is sad.
yeah, I mean, so
He's
Phil
really good.
Spencer might be under fire, but that's why I want to talk about this, because he is pretty smooth.
Xbox gamers, when we look at this after months and months of conversation.
Yeah, we remain confident. Obviously, the news from the CMA, which for those not tracking all this, is the United Kingdom's regulatory board on acquisitions to block the acquisition. We'll be appealing that. That's our plan. We continue to work with the European Union. We'll continue to work with the FTC. I think there are like 14 jurisdictions all up. We're working on approval. I think we have 9 approvals so far.
Hey, pause for a second.
But the CMA decision.
This is why Phil's a cool guy. Look, Zod, put your mouse over his head on the right side. Little bit, little, right there. You see it? You see? See, look, he's got a Nintendo Switch. That's why he said he doesn't like the traveling cops. Because look, he likes all video games. Look at that.
Big Phil plays the Switch.
symbol.
He might be playing Pokemon, and PB could have ran into him. He could have been
I
fighting.
don't know if that's a Switch. I don't know if that's a Switch.
It looks like a Switch. It looks like the
does
OLED Switch.
kinda
The
look like
OLED
a
Switch
Switch.
looks like that.
Why does it look like there's 2 buttons on the left side?
I mean, that's the stick.
It's the OLED Switch. So
All right.
Was disappointing. I've been talking
could
to
have
that
custom
group
Joy-Cons
for
too,
coming
those
up on a
things
year.
I think that they let him put a Nintendo product on the shelf behind him.
I know.
Market
Xbox
of cloud gaming that, in my mind, doesn't really exist yet today. But they have a point of view that maybe we have a lead in a market that is.
So here's the funny part, and we've been talking about this, right? Now, one side of the argument for logical people has been that they will completely own Call of Duty franchise, okay? Which is big. And exclusivity rights, which means that Sony could be fucked out of that deal to where Xbox will now get first dibs on Call of Duty and then Sony. That's what it's about. But the union,
love the duty.
but the union, who knows not a goddamn thing about gaming in general, because they're a bunch of stuffy fucks, and we saw that in the Johnny Depp trial. Remember that
We
fucking
did?
court case? Oh my god, those guys were.
I watched the
I fell
Johnny
asleep
Depp trial.
during when they were deliberating in the UK and the fucking.
I don't watch the British one. I don't remember the British one.
Anyways, I watched it. I fell asleep
Who
during it.
gives
Okay,
a fuck
so-
about the British one?
no. I'm swinging back around. My point is, they got a very
I bet
old
you
school
are.
way of thinking. So they are saying the reason why they're blocking this is not because Microsoft will own every fucking good IP known to man. It's because of cloud gaming, which isn't really a big thing yet. Now, it could be a big thing, but that's like saying I could be fucked by Heidi Klum. It might happen. There's a high probability it won't, because I'm currently happily engaged to my wonderful woman, not engaged yet.
No, you're not.
You
You're
never said it was
You're
consensual,
lying.
by the way, Nod. You never said
People,
that
and
word
just
either.
fucking ask her when she gets home, for the love of God.
Anyways, that's not the point. The point is, I could be fucked by a supermodel.
There's no such. It's never. There's never gonna be a perfect moment. The perfect moment is gonna be when you ask. So just fucking do it.
Anyways, the point being, is that everybody on this panel could be fucked by a hot supermodel, but is it going to happen?
No.
Yes.
No.
1 out of 3 is pretty good.
I will
One out of three is
say
pretty
though,
good.
I will agree on that. PB out of all of us, PB is the one that's most likely to fuck
I
the
mean,
hot
he's got the
supermodel.
Viking beard. Women love the Viking beard. That's
Do
just fact.
they?
Yeah. Look at all the fucking people Ragnar got in fucking Vikings, man.
Never seen it. Never seen it. What's a Ragnar?
I'm the least likely, and if you try to think it's Zod, I'm like, Zod has pulled more bitches than me. I don't. You can't make an argument. One is more than me.
Yeah, but when you liberate them from the concentration camp, it's different.
Could somehow prohibit others from competing in that market. But we'll appeal. We stay on it. The company remains very, very committed. We think Activision Blizzard King is not our strategy, but it is an accelerant for our strategy. So we're still.
What's the strategy, Phil? That's the next question.
I'm pleased to hear that, of course, as a big fan of many of those gaming franchises over there. I'm looking forward to seeing this deal go through, and I'm glad to hear that you and the team are still hard at work at making this happen. It's been a long road. It's been a tough road to talk about each and every single week, kind of falling apart. But
it's always the Brits, isn't it, Mike? We're always the
Yeah, he definitely doesn't have a great voice like we do here. I want
He
to hear
doesn't
more.
have the radio voice.
No.
I don't have a radio voice either because so I
Line the ointment.
But I like this guy.
We just got to rain on everyone's parade.
It's a tough one, Gary. Of course, we got to move on to the next one. Phil, of course, Redfall has released from Arcane Austin, and it's been a tough release week for that, coming out to low reviews and a lot of disappointment from many fans. Can you talk about that?
Okay, low reviews is fucking underselling it. This has like a 5 on fucking Metacritic.
Is this on Steam? Is this on Steam? Let me
Yeah,
take a
on
look.
Steam,
Is
it's
it on
like,
Steam or is it just like okay? Let me.
On Steam,
Yeah.
it's
Okay, it's called
highly
Redfall?
negative. It's not mostly
Yes to
negative.
all.
You know why I think they made it $70 on? Here's the real reason why I think they made it $70. Because when you look them up on the price tag, it says $69.99. Ooh, that's a good one. Mostly negative. 1,336 reviews. Let's take a read of the first one. Hopefully I can read it. Oh, good. It's a short. Okay.
Go ahead.
Here, there's 2 of them, and I'll tell you the good one because this is clearly a paid one. Okay, but this first one's not recommended. This is a $30 indie game in early access, masquerading as a finished AAA title with $70 price tag, hard pass. Glad I got it for free. I'm glad that was a short one because there's some people that get really long-winded in these reviews. And then here's one. It's in the small. It said recently posted. It's a thumbs up. Greatest game ever. That sounds like somebody was paid to post that.
That sounds like Phil made that review.
And then there's another one that's longer, and I'm like, and I'm reading the first part of this good review. It says, this game has been so much fun. I've been playing as a dev, and while he's a huge dork, powers, it's like, I'm like, oh, this one looks like it's fake. There's a lot. Oh, there it is. The second one under that first short one I read you of negative reviews. There's the long-winded one. God.
Long-winded, good or bad?
Let's see what Phil has to say about this catastrophic fucking launch.
What is your thoughts right now? As
This
we
one's
head
great.
Into
This one's the best one of
first
the
week of
negative
this game
reviews.
being out.
It says, got it for free. Still think it's not worth it. I love seeing those reviews.
I'll start.
Every time. And it is an
I'll hit
authentic product
Redfall,
received
but I'll
for
just
free.
say, all up, there's nothing that's more difficult for me than disappointing the Xbox community. I've been a part of it for a long time. I obviously work on Xbox, head of the business,
Pissed off gamers.
have a lot of friends, get a lot of feedback. And just to kind of watch the community lose confidence, be disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm upset with myself. I kind of revisit our process. I think back to the announcement of 60 frames per second, and then we weren't shipping 60 frames per second. That was kind of our punch in the chin, rightfully.
Okay.
Finally, he is on the actual Xbox show.
And I'm just not
things like that. So kind of
and it's disappointing.
So hold on. I was trying to pause. So he says.
Well, you don't have to click on the fucking play button to pause it, dickhead.
I know. God damn it. Anyways, so here's where the bullshit does come in. Phil said, in his own words, right? He said that it was going to ship at 60 frames per second. But had you been following Redfall like I had, the devs came out and said, before they announced how it was going to ship, they said it was only going to run at 30 frames per second. That's all they could get. It was always going to be 30. It was never going to be 60.
30 and 30, man.
So my whole thing with this is that I like Phil, but Phil, stop the fucking bullshit. Because you're the head of the company, and you're telling me that the devs from Arcane never fucking said to you, hey Phil, man, look, Phil, we got some bad news and we should tell you ahead of time. We can't get this motherfucker up to 60. We tried everything. There's all these problems. We're going to keep it at a cool 30. And Phil was like, nah, I'm just going to say it was 60. And then when the game launches, we'll just say, whoops, my bad. We can only do 30. Like, come on, Phil. Come on, Phil. In the words of LB, do better. Do better, Phil. God damn it. That pisses me off because I hate that corporate speak. And Phil, for the most part, I like. Phil's got the Switch. PB likes Switch. We all like the Switch.
I don't think it's a Switch, guy. This is an official fucking Xbox thing. Like, the show is all about Xbox. He works for Xbox, and you think there's a fucking Switch on his shelf.
Yes, I do, because Phil likes games.
Sure.
It doesn't matter where they come from.
And so, kind of pick myself up. What can we learn? How can we get better?
I mean, if he's the head of Xbox, I would play my competitors.
One thing I'll fight
too, so.
is kind of what went wrong. There's clearly quality and execution things that we can do. But one thing I won't do is push against creative aspirations of our teams. Then a lot.
See, and okay, I gotta stop here. There's a difference between saying that a plot point in a story or that a certain game mechanic or the Harry Potter bullshit, right? That controversy, you can't release it because of this, right? That is pushing against creatives. But if the game is not fucking ready to launch and it's broken, that is not part of the creative process. That is part of quality control. And I think it's bullshit to hide behind, well, we don't want to stifle the creative process and let the devs do their things. Fuck no. If I'm running $1 billion fucking corporation and somebody in my $1 billion corporation is releasing a piece of shit that reflects on my $1 billion corporation, does it make any sense to let the motherfucker ship? PB, if you have $1 billion corporation right now, okay, you fucking run, you're the head of Pokemon development, right? You fucking run everything Pokemon. And someone comes out and they have a game idea, right? And it's not up to snuff. The quality is not there. You don't see the fucking flamethrower animation.
He's muted again. And in the middle of the rant.
Hilarious. What timing. The microphone's on its game tonight.
I was trying to interrupt his, while I was interrupting his rant.
God damn it.
Before, the mic did it itself. But I was going to say, they used to be able to work in crunch time and still deliver games. So what the fuck changed?
This is my point, though, here. PB, would you let a piece of shit like you can't see the dodge animation or the flamethrower hitting your little Pokemon, your Pokemon getting out of the way, would you let that motherfucker ship and go, well, I support all creative choices, so I didn't feel the need to stifle the creative fucking process, and I just said, fuck it, ship it anyways. These fucking idiots will fucking buy it. That's what that comes across as to me. I don't know. I'm sorry. Continue, guys. What were you saying?
No, I said what I needed to. People worked in crunch before, and they could still deliver on games. Why? What changed over these past few years?
PB, would you let a subpar Pokemon go? Would you be that guy?
For Pokemon, probably I would be that guy because, like, I mean, it's all in how you rate it. Because if you're only concerned about fun, you would need so many glitches to make the game unplayable that it wouldn't be fun. And for however many glitches there are in the new Pokemon games, granted, as soon as you buy the game, they have the patch that fixes some of the stuff. It doesn't fix everything. Like, it's not a problem. They're completely playable. Like, you get
$70.
I don't think it's acceptable to pay $70. Period.
I mean, okay, take the pricing out of it though. Just say you're fine with the $70 hike up, okay? And that to me is a point within itself that it's fucking ridiculous. The game's $70. I totally agree with you. I think it's fucking atrocious. But just taking that out of the equation, right? If you are willing to pay that much money, then there should be no bugs. There should be no glitches. There shouldn't be stuff that interfere with your fun of the game. Now, don't get me wrong, bugs and glitches, they exist. And everything
Some
has...
of them are fun when you find them. But the ones that don't break the games are the ones you enjoy.
I mean stuff, PB, where it actively prohibits you from having fun catching all the Pokemon.
Or from progressing. The Master Ball doesn't work. It works like a normal Pokeball. Because they didn't. And Jay said they programmers have rights now. I don't. Still goes, I said crunch, just as a word, but then that's where they should say, well, we can't make it in this amount of time because we have to work only this amount of time in a week. So we need this big window to actually create the game. Because I think when they did that, this company still had the same fucking window for making games, which is whatever years they give people for making games. I don't know. It probably depends on the game. And that can also where I can start blaming the developers when people don't go, no, don't blame. Yeah, I can start blaming them too because everyone's at fault. We said this earlier, where they say, hey, we can only work this many times a week on the game. If you want us to release it in 2 years, that's not enough. 2 years, I'm just making up. Give us a few more and we'll have a little bit more confidence on that. If we're not there at the deadline date, then we can discuss it.
So let's continue with our journey.
Yeah, I gotta find it again. It was a breakdown for Dead Space, how they created that arm that grabs you, and how they figured out how to get around it while still sacrifice. They sacrifice a lot of things in the game just to get that to working.
Yeah, it's a give or take.
It was, and it came from the guy himself, one of the heads of development, and I'm like. I know I've gone long-winded and ranty, but look up old movies, look up old video games to try to take the games from like before 2013. Just go watch the things where the behind the scenes. You agree with the change of timetable? Don't slow down because any brand that programs someone garage is still positioned to work 24/7, right? But as I say, watch these behind the scenes for movies, for video games. They have all this passion, all this love, and they are so excited for this to come out because they're just and there's an actual and when you see it, there's an actual excitement and everything when they're talking about it and how much they're like yes with it compared to today where you see a quote unquote excitement. We've all seen that with modern movies. They're like, yeah, it's going to be great, guys. is it?
But they don't. But they're not
But
excited.
there's this passion. You can see it in George Lucas for the original trilogy and the prequels.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even the prequels, which say what you
There
want
was
to,
so
I love
much
them.
passion, and
There was
from
so much
everyone,
passion.
and people made these games. I remember I have this Midway Arcade Classics they have behind the scenes, and I remember the Cinestars one, and there's a bug and it was released, and they thought about sending like a chip update so people to arcade people to fix it. But here's what stopped them. They went to the arcades and they watched people who exploited this bug, which basically almost made it like you could infinitely play because it was a negative life and it kind of entered into like an infinite play. And they'd see people, they'd do that, get the bug, and they'd have fun. They're like, you know what? We're not going to patch this. People are having fun with it. Right? It was like a bug that was so easy to oversee though when they were explaining it too. They're like, it was a good game, and people are still just because it doesn't completely break the game. It just allows people to play the game a bit more.
And Cyber, Janie Davis says she does agree with you with the need to change the timetable. I wonder if they don't want to slow down because the indie brand that games that programs in someone's garage is still positioned to work 24/7.
I'm trying to work on that with my other thing. It's like, yeah, an indie brand, they work on their own time slot and their own timetable, but the indie brand also works on the old Silicon Valley timetable, which was established by Atari, which Atari said is you have your hours, you come in whenever you want, and you plug in those hours, and they managed to release. Well, at the time, they managed to release a bunch of good games before ET. I had to slow down with that, but that stayed as a standard in Silicon Valley. I don't know if that's still a standard or not, but it worked for the longest time. I don't know why they still can't do that because in indie dev right now, if I say I was an indie dev while I was doing this, I could be talking, have you guys all on the side screen, and I could open up my thing and just try to look at the code while I'm doing this and multitask. Because some people are really good at multitasking, right? I'm not one of them, but that's an example. If I'm not doing anything, or let's say I put on a movie, I'll just listen to a movie. I can flip open my laptop and just start typing away on the code. I say that they do that because there's with the lockpicking lawyer, he says he'll put on movies and he'll practice his lockpicking. I'm like that's I think that can translate well to that too.
So
an indie dev can just do it when he has access and downtime to his computer.
So let's continue with this interview because I find it very fascinating, and there's a couple of points, especially with you, Husky, that I think will be interesting to see what you think of what Big Phil has to say about the failures of Redfall, and he addresses the PC issues as well. So
a lot of people will say, hey, you've got teams know how to do one kind of game, just force them to go do the one kind of game that they have a proven track record for. And I'm just not a believer in that. Maybe that means I'll underdeliver for some of our fans out there. But when a team like Rare wants to do Sea of Thieves, when a team like Obsidian wants to do Grounded, when Tango wants to go do Hi-Fi, when everybody probably thought they were doing Evil Within 3, I want to give the teams the creative platform to go and push their ability, push their aspirations. But I also need to have a great selection of games that are continue to come that surprise and delight our fans. And
see, I disagree with this one with this one thing here.
I can agree and disagree. There are many. I can't think of all the examples. There are many times there's games and people program games, and the games play differently. Actually, here's a good example because it's the only one I can think of. There's other like way better examples than this. Let's take a look at like Nintendo, early Nintendo, Mario, Zelda. Shigeru Miyamoto made both of them. They play completely different. Now, as I said, that's not the great example. There's like better ones within the 2000s era, but that's the only one I can think of right now because I don't know why. But there's these companies and they can do that. The program. Yes, there's some people are specialized to it, but the specialized, it should be if this game runs on this engine and these group of coders can work on that, then that should translate well, I guess. That's where I'm like saying, but I know C++ across the board is C++ across the board. You just have to find a way how to make it communicate.
And here's the thing, though. With the games he brought up, those were like games that did well.
Yeah.
But here's the difference, though, is that that there's a certain point where his job and the people above, there has to be that ceiling where they come across the game like Redfall or whatever, and they say,
no, I thought of a great example. I've told you guys many times I've been in a robots team, right?
yeah.
The same program team through my sophomore to senior year managed to get that robot working. My younger brother's been through it as a programmer. They managed to get that working. Now, if you don't know anything, now they use the same programming thing. I don't know what my brother's team used. Probably the same as mine, which was just Java, right? Yep. Now, the challenges change every year. So your robot's going to have to do something every year. The only thing your robot does the same every year is it has to move across the field. Now your build team could make it with any type of wheel out there.
Janie Davis says, at Cybernetic Husky, so you need to give gaming programmers an engine genre that they work in?
Engine is Unreal. no, that I'm not saying it's not. Unreal is the name of an engine. A current version of it is Unreal 5. That's the best engine that comes to mind. DICE and EA has a Frostbite engine they use for a lot of things. The engine is basically the framework for games. Unreal has been used, but I say Unreal because Unreal has been used in so many games, from FPS to RTS to JRPGs to Mass Effect. There's a good one right there, because Mass Effect was built upon the Unreal engine. One of the older Unreal engines. And all these games play different, but it has that framework of that engine. So, and I was talking to somebody because he was trying to learn video games, trying to learn that because he wants to do a little game while he's doing Blender animation. He looked into it. He said Unreal Engine, and why I said this earlier, has C++. Oh yeah, and Minecraft has Java. There's another engine.
So
they're just allow these things allow you to build upon a framework for programmers.
Yeah, so it's all about the framework. So let's continue because we're about 7 minutes in. I'm trying,
and we under-delivered on that, and for that I apologize. It's not what I expect, not what I want, but it's ours to deliver.
So following up on that, Phil, so again, I appreciate the transparency on that, but there is a second component to this. And as you may or may not know, I talk to a lot of people in the Xbox community because I want to understand, what people are excited about, what they're frustrated about, things like that. So kind of sticking on this conversation about Redfall, but it's kind of a bigger general question as well. And I kind of want to read directly from this so I make sure I get it crystal clear. So what goes into the decision to delay a game when you launch it feature incomplete or there's a bunch of technical issues? Obviously, we've seen recent examples around the industry. Redfall and Halo Infinite are two that stick out in my mind.
I still don't think
Xbox.
they should announce release dates.
We obviously have seen the review scores
for games.
Okay, so continue.
Yeah, I think I've said this before. I don't think they should announce release dates for games. They can say this is a work in progress, because then once you set a release date, now you've created an expectancy
on that day.
And then
because
exactly. I do like it when you delay a game, but I also see the other side where if you constantly delay this game, it's going to become a boy who cried wolf scenario. And once if it is a perfect game once it releases, then people won't care about it. Don't release the release date until you know what's in the final work in progress for the game. And I'm saying the polishing phase is nearly complete. Release date. Because when you release it, it should be at least done for like a couple months. Like the game was ready to go for a couple months. Like fucking, I'm going to go to the music industry. You don't see an incomplete. I mean, sometimes you get poorly mixed albums. That happens. But you don't see an incomplete album go onto the fucking shelves.
Right?
You don't see an incomplete album go onto shelf. No, that album's ready to go and complete, and it's been done for a while before they release it. That's why you'll see them release songs before it comes out, because the whole album is done.
No, that's a perfect Husky. That's a perfect point. Your album point, right?
Yep.
Imagine. Okay, so I'm gonna go full screen because I haven't done this in a while, right?
Oh yes. Take a shot, everybody.
So, imagine, folks, you go out to buy your favorite artist. I don't fucking care. I like Taylor Swift. I'll admit that. I'm a little drunk. Fucking like T-Swizzle, okay? Imagine I go out to buy a T-Swizzle album, right? Fuck you, okay? I like Taylor Swift.
Sounds like she's in a gang.
Okay? Imagine I go out to buy a Taylor Swift album, right? Super fucking pumped for the new T-Swizzle album, right? And I go to buy it, and A, the fucking album doesn't play, or B, I only got half the tracks. So it's about, what, 13 songs?
No, even worse, son. You're listening to a song jamming, right?
Right,
and in the middle, it just cuts out. You're like, did it skip? And then it's like, oh, then it ends. And then it goes to the next song. You're like, what the fuck was that? And you go around and say, no, everybody says it sounds like it skips right there. And it just doesn't, and the ending of it and the beginning of it don't connect. There's like a missing bridge.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Parts of the song are missing. I don't hear beautiful T-Swizzle's voice. I don't got none of that. So I paid fucking $20 for this album, right? I paid the money. And then they say, well, Zod, don't worry about it. We got a second album coming out that fixes the problems of the first album, but you gotta wait for that to come out so that you can hear all the songs. Well, motherfucker, I paid $20 to fucking hear T-Swizzle, and now I don't get to hear all of T-Swizzle. I gotta go out and I gotta wait for this fucking update to come out so that I can hear the fucking songs I originally paid for. Right? Is that not the same concept? Right? Because
it is the same concept. And yes, and then I can use the same argument that these artists sometimes, depending on which industry,
I do love Shake It Off.
American industry, to my knowledge, I think, but they get pressured by these companies to get these albums out too. And you know,
but we don't get half the songs.
It can be bad songs, and there can be bad songs, but they're not incomplete songs.
Yes,
and it's not an incomplete album. It's still there.
Yeah, exactly. We can judge the quality of the album, and then in that scenario, it doesn't become about whether the fucking thing works. It's about the quality of the content, right? You might not like a Taylor Swift song, but she doesn't give you half a fucking album, and then you have to wait for fucking a year to get the rest of the fucking album that you paid for at the fucking beginning of the year, right? And that's what companies
And then if you want to complicate it, we could get into DLC debate and like, no, you still have to buy the vinyl if you want this song. I mean, I know they do sometimes they do special like things, but like, no, you only can get the other half of the album if you buy the vinyl, and then you can put it with your CD. Fuck it. We can use the music industry to compare it to the rest of the entertainment industry so many times. Because some people are like, no, the music industry is still good. You just got to know where to look with the artist. The mainstream of the music industry is trash. It's always been trash. Anyone who has lived in the past 40, 50 years can tell you the mainstream of music has always been garbage.
But here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. With the music industry, whether you like it or not, you're getting all of the fucking product you paid for. And this is the constant argument, right? You pay $70. And look, DLC, let me give you an example. You could say what you want to about Midnight Suns. I fucking love that game. Some people don't, right? But Firaxis gave us a complete fucking story. The DLC is a brand new story. You have the option to purchase that adds to the pre-existing story. But the original game was done. All the levels are there. The story is done. You're just paying to get more of what you like. And that used to be what
Yeah,
a
that's
DLC
that's like how
is.
you get the deluxe version of the album, because they're like, there's just here's some extra songs that we didn't think fit the actual story and message of the album. Well, you got the best one, or or sometimes how they put some of the demo shit on there. That'd be the deluxe version. There you go. Oh yeah, dude, I never knew.
Yeah, you got
Oh,
the
so this is
original.
what this song would sound like before they decided to scrap it. Oh.
Yeah. Or for instance, Breaking Benjamin, right? I love
Yeah.
their first album, Dear Agony, but they did a re-release, and they had like Rain and fucking what was that other one? Cold. They had the acoustic version, right?
Oh yeah,
Where
there's
he
that
didn't
shit too. You
scream.
can add stuff.
Yeah, and he had the Halo theme too that he did. Blow Me
Uh-huh.
Away. Right? They had the extra songs, but the original album, all 12 songs, were done. Okay? This re-release was just extra flavor. You weren't paying
Right.
for shit you already had. It's like, okay, you have the original album. Now here's a little extra, right? You like the Halo theme, you like an
Yeah.
acoustic version of
I haven't
Cold.
bought the album, but Disturbed. So I'm going to a concert tomorrow. I haven't bought the album because I'm trying to. I buy a lot of albums and sometimes I price things out. But they have an album called The Lost Children, and it's called that because that's where all their they can find a lot of their EPs and B-sides onto an album. So some of it's stuff that not everyone has heard. So they're like, okay, we're gonna put all these songs right here on this album. So it's the you know who we are and it's stuff you like, but here you go, it's on this album.
There we go. I just have it's just us right now. the bear is hibernating. If he wakes up, he could throw himself back in the stream. But anyways, the point being, right? And Husky, my God, we haven't done a stream with just us bantering back and forth for quite some time. So this is a special night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
all you
gamer
fuckers
rage.
hiding,
Gamer rage is the best rage.
and by the way, all you fuckers hiding, I saw 6 people earlier. You better be hitting that fucking thumbs up, and everybody else hiding.
There's some things up there, but don't call out our lurkers. Just say thank you, lurkers, for lurking.
I mean, thank you for lurking, but motherfucker, hit that like button. Anyways,
MVPs, man. Yeah,
yeah.
It's bad if you call them out because that actually scares them away. Found that out. Like, oh, yeah. I've been watching. There's been a few things I've been watching. I need to watch some more of them to improve on myself. But yeah.
But the point being, right, Husky, I liked your music analogy because
it is. I like using that because I love music. And there's still stuff I go to, and I go. There's so many albums. I buy the new album, I listen to new albums. I'm like, wow, why is this good? And it's and I can enjoy it, and it's all complete. And then there's games, 70, and these are $20. Sometimes I think games should be that way, especially with how garbage it's gotten. I could buy this album for maybe like $20 or less, and vinyls have started to go down in price too because they've become popular again. Still a little more than a CD. But
yeah, you can
grab it and you can listen. You can like, oh man, this is pretty good. I'm glad I got this.
Husky, I brought
why can't the rest of the entertainment be like that?
I brought a record player for my fucking wonderful woman with records.
It sounds like a terrible mistake.
Yeah, I brought Bitchy a record player that she puts on streams on another site she streams on.
Oh,
I brought a record player, and she plays that and gets better quality than we get in a $70 fucking game. And PB Husky made a great analogy, right?
No, I missed it.
When you pay for a CD, right? You don't get and I use Taylor Swift. Fuck you guys who don't like Taylor Swift. I fucking love her. I don't fucking care. Anyways, when I buy a T-Swizzle CD, I get all of Taylor Swift's songs. There's no skipping. I'm not missing 3 fucking songs, and she doesn't come out with an apology and go, I'm sorry, guys. When I was recording the 3 songs, we had issues, but if you buy this next CD that I have, it's going to have the fucking songs that should have been on the first CD, right? All the fucking content is there
Right.
when I buy it. Why the fuck am I paying $70 and buying a fucking video game where they go, well, it's going to be broken as shit, but if you wait a year, you'll be able to play the fucking game. But wait, by that time, there's a fucking season pass, so you can also get DLC, which probably won't fucking work on the day it drops. So they're gonna be putting out a patch for your fucking original game and the fucking new content that you just brought and dropped another fucking $30 on top of the $70 that you paid for the fucking original game.
Sounds expensive. It better be good.
Exactly! That is the point, right? That's the fucking point.
Is it no good?
No, it's not good. That's the point we're getting at. It's not good. It's not good. Let's hear what Phil has. Now that everybody's alive, let's hear what Phil has to say.
Did you play Red? Jesus Christ.
Oh, I did play Redfall.
Oh yeah. And you know what else? It doesn't happen. They don't like the creativity of the artists can flourish in each album. And not every. Sometimes
I love me Nickelback. I never go with that stupid bullshit like, oh, they're trying to be hard rock. Look, Nickelback is good. That song that they talk about drinking, that's my fucking Friday night song. I don't give a fuck. Nickelback is awesome.
Clearly, we've had the opinion that the game should be delayed. We know every developer wants to ship the best game that they possibly can, but from your level, what's the balance there on when to ship a game that may be feature incomplete or have some technical issues, or just simply give it more time and delay it?
Well, I think those are, and I'm happy to go very deep on this. I think if I think about a team's execution on a game, we had a creative vision, and did we realize that vision through the game that we created? That's not a delay question if the answer is no. Like, you can't take something that you started on. This isn't a Redfall specific conversation, right. But we will build games that review in the high 80s, and we will build games that review in the 60s. I mean, it's just kind of part of being in game publishing. And if you're afraid of that, then you shouldn't be in the entertainment business. You shouldn't be in the games business. That said, every time we deliver something below our own internal expectations that surprises us, we should check our process. I don't look at the review scores on Redfall, and there are quality issues, and we're working on those. But I think there's a fundamental piece of feedback.
Yeah, fucking better,
the game isn't realizing the creative.
Like, right? So here's the biggest fucking. Okay, I'm going into rant mode. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, back to big screen. Take another shot.
Here is the fucking biggest fucking sidestep bullshit I've ever heard. Okay, Phil. I'm sorry, Big Phil, if you ever watch this, which you won't, because
I'm not sorry.
Because we're a bunch of fucking stupid ass losers with microphones that no one watches, except for the people that are chilling out, and you know who you are. Janie and Lemon
thank
Pie.
you.
They get us
Anyway,
because they're the ones I see right now.
Like, Phil, we didn't ask you about the fucking games that you got a good score on, Phil. Okay, Phil? We asked you why the fuck you would release a game like Redfall, and yes, I do have it downloaded on my PC. I should do some gameplay, but it would probably fuck.
I got muted right in another rant. That's good.
Excellent timing, guys. No one can hear you. You're full screen. You just keep fucking talking and nobody can hear a fucking word. Oh my god, your favorite person is here, Zod.
Hey, Carmen, what's up?
Whole Carmen.
So, here is my point, okay, Phil? We didn't ask you if The shit that you sent that had reviews on like, oh, I didn't like the fucking story or the controls or whatever. No, that's not the point. What he was saying is, if you fucking know a game is broken and it does not work, what is your fucking process to determine delaying that game that people paid $70 motherfucking dollars for of their hard-earned cash to play a game that they can't fucking play on the day that it fucking releases? You are swindling people who trust in the fucking Arcane Studios, who, by the way, brought us Dishonored 1, Dishonored 2, Titanfall 1, Titanfall 2, which were all fucking successful games, and fucking Deathloop, okay? These were quality games. So when you jump from a game like that, and you release a broken piece of shit game, and then you tell people, well, we had testers, and I don't know, I believe in the quality. No, that's fucking bullshit, Phil. It's fucking bullshit. I paid $70 goddamn dollars. I want to play my game on day one. I don't want to wait for a year for you to patch the shit out of the game so I can play the game a fucking goddamn year later. I got the $70 game that I'm gonna fucking forget about because 3 more fucking actual games that work came out. So now I don't got goddamn time to play your fucking piece of shit Redfall, which, by the way, was subpar mechanics to begin with. So the game was just subpar to begin with, and then you force feed me bullshit that, oh yeah, we're patching it, and then by the time you get it a year later, you'll be able to play a fucking game you paid for a year ago, Phil. Come on. Come on, Phil. You're fucking killing me. I'm trying to help you, Phil. I want you to succeed, Phil. Why the fuck are you doing this to me? All I want is to fucking play your vampire game. That's all I want.
You're full of shit. You're a PlayStation guy.
I still got a PC.
Oh yeah. I disappeared a little bit during Zod's rant because he told me to tell you something. Yeah, my short asshole brother needed his tall brother to get something for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, Jeff.
I mean,
Is PB asleep and he's doing the thing where it sounds like he's having a conversation?
No, I'm not asleep.
Still,
It'll
that
be
one
hilarious,
fucking night, dude. That one fucking night.
That was real.
Really answered the
That is
question.
real.
Yeah.
Hey, Carmen, how you
that
doing?
it had for its players. That doesn't feel like a hey, just delay it. That feels like the game had a goal to do one thing, and when players are actually playing, they're not feeling that thing. They're not feeling the creative execution of the team. When a game needs to be delayed, what we did with Halo, we did with Starfield, we did with Redfall, because the production timeline is saying we have this vision and our production timelines don't get us to the completion of that vision, we do delay games. We do that. Learning about the quality, there are clearly, I've seen them. I know there are bugs in Redfall that's launching. But when I look at like the crash rates on the game, because we get all the telemetry of everything that's happened, it's not out of proportion for a game.
Maybe they need to do a big hiring event for playtesting.
Like,
you know?
Like, here's the thing.
I'd quit doing what I'm doing and do playtesting if I'm getting paid.
Hey,
What are you
like,
doing?
did you hear that statement though? The crash telemetry, right?
Yeah, that's
So-
why I said, don't they need playtesters? Don't you have playtesters for that shit? I don't know where to go. Hire me as a playtester. I will do that. I'll quit doing what I do and I'll be a playtester and I'll go.
We
play
have
test
a
some video
cybernetic
games.
dog that's hooked into technology, Phil. He's willing to help you. Like, how can you say, oh, well, there's a crash telemetry. So what's suitable for how many times your system crashes? It should be 0. I should not fucking have any crashes on a $70 fucking game.
When a free game crashes, it can give it a pass because I already said I clicked it and it said free, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, not
Well,
fucking
shit, every time
$70.
I've had a game that I've been playing. Was it Tower Fantasy? It's crashed. There was one time I couldn't get it back open when I first started, but it's a couple times where it's crashed on me. I'm pretty sure it's because it also connects to the internet. But the thing is, it's free, so I don't get mad about it because I clicked a game that said it was free.
Yeah, you didn't pay fucking $70. And this is where I think Phil's spinning some magical bullshit. Because, no, Phil, there shouldn't be.
And yeah, they do have certain microtransactions you pay for because it's one of those games, but it's like any free game. But I still clicked a game that said free. I don't expect it to.
Yeah, you don't expect.
But
it
it doesn't.
Like
but it doesn't. It doesn't take me out. And half the times when it does crash, it's because there's an internet issue.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised if there's an internet issue if I'm streaming a game that needs online connection because I'm using a lot of bandwidth right there. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the pocket of what we would expect. That's not to deny any of the animation, streaming of texture bugs, the AI bugs that we've seen. We will go work on those. But when I look at the review scores of this game, it's did we have enough of creative differentiation in our core idea? And did we realize that creative ambition? I'm a huge supporter of Arcane Austin. Their track
needs to be
record
creative
is
ambition
awesome.
and stuff,
I
but
love
there
a
needs
lot
to
of the
be a
great
common
games that
goal when you're making a game too. Right, that Dead Space thing. I don't know if I sent it to you, but they had a lot of creative ideas and stuff, and he said he asked a lot of them so he could do this one creative thing, which was this tentacle arm thing. It comes out and grabs you, and it can grab you from either leg or anything. They had to break that down to get it working. They found a way to get it break down so it would work, but he had he made his team have a common goal of how to eventually get that done working. And then they make sure they got the rest of the game finished because he said the rest of the game was easy. That was like their biggest hiccup.
Yeah,
They had a common goal to get this part of the game done because they knew it would sell a part of the game. They weren't still going, oh yeah, you guys keep working on this. He took all of his resources and said, guys, we all have to work on this to figure this out. And they figured it out. And how they figured it out is they had to break it down into small segments. So they do, okay, first we're going to do him being grabbed by the tentacle. Okay, we'll do that, get that done. Oh, that's done. It's good. It's working. All right, the next one is it knocking him on the ground. Okay, do that. Lift him up. Okay, there's that. Pulling him away. There's that. They did all these little breakdowns, and they had that common goal. So it doesn't sound like your teams are having a common goal. So that's why we're getting the messes that we have. Find the problems, get the common goal down, get everyone to work on that goal, and then you can continue. Because there are things that come easier, and then there are things that are harder.
Exactly the point is that you can work towards something, but if it breaks the whole entire game, then there should be someone at the top deciding this stuff. And there's not, and I don't agree with this whole portion of this video, but
they've built. This is one where the team didn't hit their own internal goals when it launched. I think it's maybe a little simplistic to just say, hey, if you would have just delayed it 3 months, the core creative of the game would have delivered on something that was
Seems
different
like a
than
great
what
solution.
it was. So I look at them in different camps. If there's a production,
right, PV, right? It's like, no. If the game looks like shit, if it plays like shit, that is a good reason.
It's a phenomenal reason. FYI, I'm never making it to the end of this video.
Yeah, we're only 11 minutes in.
You didn't listen to any of it when I fell asleep. You're supposed to listen to all of it while I was asleep.
11 minutes in.
Dude, we got through over 2 hours. Guys.
However many
hour
minutes
anymore.
it was after that crappy ass intro, though.
Whatever. Go.
Okay, let's continue.
Timeline issue, we've been open to delaying. If we just have more bugs than we should have at the end of a game, we're open to delaying. At some point, we have to have a creative vision and put the game out, and reviewers and players will tell us what they think.
We played.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, of course. Please, Gary.
So I have just a couple of small observations and then a question. First of all, I want to give Phil props for coming on here today and talk just for a minute about why I admire Phil, because he and I have been here before.
I want to suck Phil's dick.
Back in 2020 during the pandemic when I was doing Animal Talking, Phil, you'll remember this. Phil was booked to come on my dumb Animal Crossing talk show. And then after he was booked, the news came that Halo Infinite was going to be delayed and would not ship with the Xbox Series X and S. And it was you'll remember it was a big deal. There was a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth and people rending their garments. And I was fully prepared for the other shoe to drop. I was waiting for a call from Xbox PR from Jeff, your friend of mine, Jeff, over in Xbox PR, to say Phil's not going to be able to come on the show live because it's a big mess right now. We don't want to put him in the firing line for that. And Jeff called and I thought, here it is. Here comes the other shoe. And he was like, Phil just wants to know when's the tech rehearsal? It's going ahead. And he came on a live talk show and took a bunch of tough questions on a really tough subject and took it on the chin. And I've always admired him for that, we would have been very easy for him to pull out, and he didn't. He came on and he's doing it again now. And I salute Phil for that. The other point I want to make.
What's that?
Stop moving the fucking mouse to the play button. Continue, please.
Is that every time there may be some Sony platform warriors out there right now crowing about the fact that Redfall has underperformed.
Yeah, anywhere on the screen, motherfucker.
Every time somebody takes a big bet, especially a big AAA bet on an original idea, a new IP, and it fails, everybody suffers. It's bad for everyone.
No, okay, so now I don't like this motherfucker. Here's the thing. They fucking pitched a product that was shit. I don't prescribe to this bullshit that, now there's a bunch of people who are going to come out and say so. Yes, because they paid $70 for a game by a studio that has a good track record, and I want my fucking quality. No, you bald fuck.
It's like the CD Projekt Red. They had a great track record until Cyberpunk 2077. Now nobody.
And I will give them credit. That fucking show, Edge Runner, was fucking amazing, and they really.
The studio they hired though. The studio they hired though is the reason why it did well, because they had a lot of creative pushback that made it the show that you enjoy, especially with Rebecca. That studio they hired is the reason why Rebecca exists.
But they did fix the problems that plagued the game, and yes, they're in the same boat. I don't excuse their behavior. They promised shit, they didn't deliver. I 100% am on that boat, but they did fix the issues, and they're taking time with this DLC.
I want it to be $15, man. I see Steam sales and don't get the $15. I said when that game came out, it had its issues. I'm like, I'll buy this game when it's $15. It hasn't been $15 yet, so I haven't bought it.
It is good. I brought it on PS5 and on the PC.
I'll play it when it's $15
because it makes it that much harder for the Phils and the Jim Ryans of the world, the big, the creative, the decision makers to take a chance on them. Oh, but the last time we did that, it didn't work. Like maybe let's just make a sequel to the next thing, or let the algorithm tell us what to do. So every time somebody takes a risk on something new, and especially if it involves something different in game design, let's try something that has been done. When it doesn't work, it hurts everybody. So I just want everyone to.
No, it doesn't, because you have games like Little Nightmare, or you have games like Salt, or you have games like Slay the Spire, Darkest Dungeon, that are Cult of the Lamb, that are fucking fantastic games from indie developers that still hit hard, and AAA games are pushing out bullshit to try to feed a mass audience, and they don't give a fuck about the product that they're putting out. Even fucking Midnight Suns, there were a few glitches that I caught in that game, but for the most part, it released in a stable state. You could play through the whole entire fucking game. The glitch I encountered only fucked up something. I had to ignore the fucking control center. That's a talk for another day. But I still beat the game several times. I'm on like my 4th fucking playthrough. Okay? So I don't want to hear the bullshit that, because fans who play your fucking game are stating issues, that it's making it harder for the poor company and the spokesmen and the developers. That's fucking bullshit. Am I wrong, Husky? That's fucking hiding behind the fucking corporate skirt. It's fucking garbage. Hey, Sean B.
Welcome, Sean.
I mean, but Husky, do you not agree that that's a bullshit statement?
Right.
Like, no, they should be held accountable.
So good thing we're
You
so
play this-
small because we probably get some people that have pushback and try to play into the bullshit excuses and stuff. And I get tired of people that keep coming up with horse ass excuses to defend these companies. Like,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't mind seeing it because I would make fun of them, right? Those people. But there's no reason to defend these companies anymore. There's just not. You can't keep defending them when they do this shit. It is.
Yeah.
I don't get hyped up for anything anymore. Movies or video games. Sometimes a little, but I don't. I'll see. I'm like, well, I don't give a shit. Maybe that's probably why I don't know when games come out and get released. I don't get hyped up anymore because I've been burned. If you don't know the story of Icarus, he flew too close to the sun and he fucking got burned. Did that too many times, got burned. Can't keep doing that. You touch fire, keep touching fire. It's burns, right? You don't keep touching fire. After a while, you go, you know what? I'm not going to touch that. It hot, it hurts. And
yeah, it's fucking bullshit. And the more excuses that you make for companies delivering subpar products, the more they're going to deliver it because they know people will defend the garbage that's being produced.
Yep.
Sucks for everybody, and I see it in my business,
again,
see it in Hollywood, see
I
it
can
in film and
get hyped
television.
about
It's
is
why
a new
so much
album released
content
from a band I like. Even if that ends up being a bad album, or if they had a bad album beforehand, I'm like, oh, this is something new. Maybe they're going back to the roots. Maybe they're trying something different. Maybe they've completely fallen off and now they're no good anymore. You know, I get hyped up about albums because it's something out there, and I know it could has a chance of being good, and that it's not going to be garbage or a waste of my money.
Exactly.
Is so generic and derivative and formulaic because everyone's afraid to take a risk. And when something new succeeds, it's good for everyone. When something new and original fails, it's bad for everyone. So I just want to acknowledge that this is like a big shit sandwich, and we all have to take a bite, including the Sony people, including everybody. Specifically this is a long time. Specifically with a question for Phil, I want to talk specifically about Redfall. When you say that you're disappointed in the reaction, that to me suggests that the reaction was something different than what you were expecting, what you were hoping for. But I know that when these big AAA games, they get subjected to all kinds of internal testing. Focus groups come in. There are third-party companies that will come in and even write like mock reviews or come like hit detection out that will tell you, here's what you can expect the press to make of your game. So usually you've got
So eventually they probably devolve into yes groups, so they don't tell you much because they just want that money.
Oh yeah.
the sense of what the game is going to be, how it's going to be received before it's released.
Brutally honest jackasses, and then they say, "Well, we're going to pay you to tell you. We'll pay you this right up front to play this game, and tell us."
And tell us what the
If
deal
I
is.
tell you
So you can be
straight, then
prepared.
you know that this person's just going to. And that'll be great because there will probably be a really person who's a massive cynical jackass and nitpicky about everything. So they'll say everything. If it's bad, they'll sell you everything that's bad, and you'll be like, "Well, you know something right there."
Exactly.
For it. So Phil, when you say you're disappointed, does that mean that you thought the game was going to be better received, or was it in line with expectation? How surprised were you by the reaction, or how internally, how much do you know? I feel like this one, people we know the game it has problems. Like, to what extent was this different from what you expected? And also, and sorry, I know I've been talking a long time. And the second part of that is, when a game is released now, it's not like the old days when a cartridge was shipped in a box and the release of the game was the end of the game's development cycle. Now it's just the
What was that?
You just keep randomly putting me in the fucking back.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if you were asleep or not. So
Oh my God, is this okay? You might have to rewind like maybe 10 seconds because this guy's doing the.
What's up, Sean?
What's up, Sean?
So you're disappointed? Does that mean that
to J&A? Jesus
better received, or was it in line with expectation? How surprised were you by the reaction, or how?
But we're going to get to where he. No, we're fine. You keep playing. We'll get to what he's fucking talking about.
I feel like this one. People we know the game. It has problems. Like, to what extent was this different from what you expected? And also, and sorry, I know I've been talking a long time. And the second part of that is, when a game is released now, it's not like the old days when a cartridge was shipped in a box and the release of the game was the end of the game's like development cycle. Now it's just the 1.0 release is just a point on the roadmap. To what extent, given that what we're talking about here is not just 30
it should be its end of its development cycle when it reaches the box. You jackass. I've heard people say that too when they try to defend these garbage games. No, it should be the end of the development cycle. You should release a game, even if you want to add more stuff later on. You should release a game expecting that this could be it. This is it.
Yeah, like, when did it change? And PB is from the old days of cartridges, right, PB?
PlayStation 4.
Exactly. When did it change that a game all of a sudden is not done just because you...
Oh, there's probably some on PlayStation 3.
Like, when did the change happen to us, old fucks, old grumpy fucking curmudgeons on this fucking panel, where all of a sudden the game we're getting, oh no, we're gonna be done in a year. Like, you paid $70, but no, we're not actually done with the story.
I want to know why, as society, people decide to bend the fuck over and say, okay, did the early access stuff have to do with this? I don't think it did, because early access told you up front that it's a buggy mess.
Like,
dude, that's what the thing on early access, but they also don't have you paying $70 for an early access. An early access, I've almost all of them in Steam will have it on the early access. I'll have a warning saying this game is in early access, so you might come across bugs, glitches, and features. And I've played an early access game, Satisfactory. I like going back to it every once in a while. And yeah, I've had encounter bugs and stuff, but sometimes I think these early access games from these indie developers are more solid than the fucking AAA games that I'm paying $70 for that don't say they're early access.
Well, I do find it interesting that he goes, well, we develop these games, and then when something flops, it hurts everybody. And I was like, that is most definitely not true. Because you have them making 3 fucking games, and if 2 of the games are killing it and one game loses money, you still are up tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars.
It's like, when did it become the norm that I can send out a half-completed game and just tell you?
I can tell you exactly when. It was a time when I was more awake.
J.D. Davis said that General Zod's Phantom Zone, the first company that had to release and fix and didn't get attacked for it, set the standard. Yeah, who the fuck knows?
She's right, because I don't know which company was the first one to do it. So
yeah, neither do I.
Or did they? I don't know. But she does got a point, because I don't know what the first company to do it was.
I don't know what the first company is that did it. I just know they did your mom.
And PB, are you still going to be able to hang in tough for this?
And I say I don't know what company's the first one to do it, because when the Master Chief Collection came out and it had a buggy mess, it had its backlash. So
you get 5 minutes.
Somewhere before that, maybe?
You get 5 minutes? Why don't you do your plug and everything, and me and Husky will go as long as we can.
Cool, I do YouTube stuff.
Okay, so go check out Pop Culture PB. He apparently does YouTube stuff. We will be on Sunday with PurpMinded for a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 review.
That's on Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
I'm not gonna have seen the movie by then.
I would have, so you would have seen it. Eh? You saw it?
I could probably see it by then.
Yeah, come on. You got the high seas.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see it.
Oh, stupid fucking shit.
I like high C. That's good shit.
All right, so thank you, PB, for coming on. We love and appreciate you. He's
As you should.
he is the person who keeps the Phantom Zone going. And Cyber, are you still in for the long haul?
So far, yeah.
All right, so
I do want to kill everyone in the room again, though. Yeah, I officially came to that
What
thing. Yeah, I
happened?
do want to kill everyone in that fucking room. I
So,
still said the room. It's not the people on the picture screens. People in the room.
You're
thank
in a
you,
room.
So if
Thank
Phil
you,
is
Miss.
ahead, the Phil is
Yeah.
ahead of Xbox. He does get paid to bullshit people.
So
I'm like, it's just like an actor gets paid to lie to you on.
Hey, I'm trying to fucking say goodnight. Shut up.
Night.
So good night, Mr. Pop Culture PB. Thank you for coming on. We will see you again.
Yes, you people are very blessed to have me. Congratulations. See you next time. Bye.
New count drops.
Mic drop right there. Good.
Oh,
So
you gotta click leave twice now? When did that fucking happen?
When they found out that Zod uses this platform.
All right, so there we go. You are here now with Cyber and me. Let's continue on. We are going through this whole fucking Phil Spencer fucking interview. Let's keep going, Husky, because we'll be here until fucking midnight.
Frames, design issues, things
I
that may
got
be
shit
more
to do tomorrow.
conceptual. To what extent do you think, or are you committed to continuing to work on the game and getting it maybe a year down the road? Cyberpunk, No Man's Sky. We've seen these redemptive stories in the past. To what extent do you hold out hope that you can still get the game closer to where you wanted it to be at launch? I know that was a lot.
No, well, at first I thought your words about creative ambition of teams, you especially, I mean, you've lived this, you've done this, are
I was
very
right
well
about the view
said
count
and-
dropping
and-
once BB
and
left because it
very
happened.
spot on. So thank you for that, and that's why I love your voice in
happens
this
a lot.
community. Because
It happens a lot. That's how we know you guys love PB.
Yeah, I know.
You've created, you've seen kind of ups, and as anybody in the industry, we've all seen downs. And on the score, yeah, we do mock reviews for every game that we launch, and this is like double digits lower than we thought we would be with this game. Went through our mock reviews.
I really find this bullshit, and it's right. I'm like you, Phil, but I know your job is also bullshit because you're ahead of a thing and you're supposed to sell your product at everything. But
that's what I said, right?
Really, Phil? Time, and if you knew it needed more time and it needed ironing out, then I would have expected it to receive a lot of hate.
Yeah, like I that's what I was saying, and why I wanted to go over this interview with you, Husky, was because there's some points where I'm like, really, Phil, are you trying to tell me during your fucking interview process nobody saw these things and went, you know what, Phil, some shit is broken on here. I don't believe you, Phil. I want to believe you. Look.
This
I
game
like
is
Phil.
dysfunctional and needs a Viagra.
Like, Phil, I like you, but I want to believe that you're not fucking bullshitting me, but you're making it hard, Phil. You're making it hard for me when I hear stupid fucking statements like you did your bullshit game testing and nobody said, hey, Phil, there's a couple of things here that's fucked up. JD Davis says, at Cybernetic Husky, I think I just like the panel better than a single person live stream because it allows a person to watch and chat. Yeah, that's why we're here. Husky won't do it, but
I like neglecting the chat.
he likes neglecting the chat, but I will always acknowledge you, beautiful people.
And that's what's one of the disappointing things. Like we would never strive to launch a game that we thought was going to review in the low 60s. It's not part of our goals. If you look at our review scores over the last year, it's not a defense at all. If you look at the review scores over the last year, I think the teams have done a better job in upping the level of quality.
But you're talking about High Five Rush and Psychonauts, which was fucking by indie developers that scored.
You muted again. Your mic is against you, Zod. It does not want you to talk.
Sorry about that, folks. My point being is that the other games that they're talking about were indie developed projects that scored high and came out of nowhere. Right, Husky? Like
All right.
90% of indie projects, they don't have a lot of faith in them. So when they do well, it's this little feather that they can wear in their cap. But the truth of the matter is, this is a AAA game.
Once
Okay,
again, those indie games, they're the only ones I see with that fire, that passion of those old interviews. It's like, watch the Rock. You guys watch the Rocky movies?
Yeah,
He's a good
it
announcer.
is.
You
It
remember
is
how
like
Apollo Creed kept telling Rocky when he got his ass kicked? He's like, "You used to have the eye of the tiger, man. There's fire in your eyes. I didn't see it."
Exactly.
And he's like, "You got to get that back."
It's
And he kept telling him, "Eye of the tiger, man. Eye of the tiger."
how, Husky, how do we have games that are backed with more money that release shittier than games that have damn near nothing, no
Right,
fucking budget,
like I
that
said,
are buggy as
that's why-
shit?
Remember how I said the thing about the AI earlier? That's why I'm brand about it too. These studios should be releasing solid games. Hey,
Did you
Jamie,
see that?
Like, yeah. These studios should be releasing solid games with groundbreaking, innovative new technology to pave the way for other people.
Exactly.
And they aren't doing that because they're just shitting it out for cash. No, you have the money to get an A. We have those advanced AIs I talked about at the beginning of the stream. You can use that, program it, give me an advanced AI that can do all this shit, learn all this stuff, and I can get this new innovative fucking game, and then you can have a complete fucking game. But you guys don't want to do that. You're just shitting it out your ass.
Exactly. But let's continue because we're all like
Of the
almost 20
games
minutes
that we've shipped.
forward, so we're
Some of
doing
those
good.
games first shipped on PlayStation, but still, when I go through the list of the games, you still have to build a game, you still have to ship a game. And this game was significantly below our internal metrics in terms of where it actually reviewed. But that's not on anybody but us. Like, we have to own that. In terms of our commitment to the game, absolutely. The team at Arcane is on taking the near-term feedback. We're still working on the 60 frames per second. We have a good timeline for that. We're committed to getting that done, and we're going to continue to work the game. I think we've shown a commitment to games like Sea of Thieves and like Grounded to continue to go and build games. But I also know that these games are $70, and I'm not gonna I'm gonna take full responsibility for launching a game that needs to be great. You know, I think what I have with the Xbox community, what I am a part of, is a team. There's still questions that pop every so often of how committed is the company to this category. When are we just going to push Xbox out of the market? There's a lot of Twitter firing of Phil right now, which is fine. I'm way overpaid for the role I have anyway, so I get that's my responsibility.
I mean, I like that.
Don't
I like
fire. I like you saying that, and I like the kind of. Don't fire fucking Phil. The guy before him sucked ass, and that's how he has his job. Because the thing is, I don't want another guy like the guy before Phil. You know, the guy before Phil that became a meme because they advertised the Xbox as TV.
Yeah. Like I agree.
They just clipped out all the times that dude said TV, and it's like, oh crap, boy. And then Phil came in after that, and he's just a way better spokesperson for Xbox than that dude. Just keep him.
Exactly.
That's what it is. What he is. He is mostly the spokesperson. He does. That's why I said he kind of gets paid the whole bullshit. When you're a spokesperson, you do have to kind of exaggerate. You have to make it look better than what it is, and Phil's really good at doing that.
But we will remain committed to the game and the players as long as the players want to go play games. And that's my commitment to the community. I'm kind of at a low point right now in terms of my delivery on that commitment to the community. But it very much stays. I want to support the team. I want to support the creative ambitions of the teams. And I want to support.
What did that happen the past year or so? And I'm still pretty sure they were still rearranging stuff after the merger and figuring out everything. How much of it, though, they were doing this shit and it's still under, Todd Howard oversees all of Bethesda. Right? So how much did, Xbox see? And that's something I don't know, because that's why I said a Bethesda title. How much was he able to oversee that when they finally came in, see where it was at, and what other projects was Phil currently having to look at on top of all of those? He's one guy, remember, and now they have all these studios making the stuff. He's one guy.
I mean, yeah, that's
so it also reflects
true.
on who's the head guy on each department. It reflects on them a little bit more. That's why I say Phil's more of the spokesperson role. Yes, he does oversee all of Xbox, but how much does he actually see the whole time? Things will slip under your fucking watch. And that's what I'll give him a fucking break.
And we let a lot of people down this week with the launch of the game, but we will continue to strive on. You have to, right? That's what creative is about.
No, you absolutely do. And to kind of start transitioning this into hopefully more happy news, but I do want to address something, around that. Obviously, today you announced the Xbox Game Showcase, which will be happening this June. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of new reveals and surprises that come out of that, which is great. But I am going to bring it back again to another common theme that I do hear through the community. And I've actually said this to you in the past, but it's about communication coming from Xbox. I do feel back in 2021, you did a fantastic job with communication, which arguably has been the best year during this current generation of Xbox. Obviously, we know that 2022 was a light year for Xbox as far as releasing titles. Now, last year, during the showcase, you had the 12-month plan.
Yeah, that was the COVID year, so.
You didn't necessarily
not
deliver on all the games.
2022, Zod. It said last year. It was a
last year. Wasn't that when COVID had its peak?
No, that was the year before. Last year, everything was
but we were still coming out of it, so there was a lot of shit delayed.
You said there was a lot of good movies, and there was a good handful of movies last year, but then there was nothing for games. It was like, there's a lot of good music, though, coming out from those years. I'm still fucking knocking on you for that good fucking movies and video games. How come I got all this good fucking music and you guys still have shit? Keep comparing
so
the music industry.
My point of bringing that up is this, talking about some of the lessons learned that come out of that. And obviously, even with not every game making the 12 months, going back to, again, game development, things happen, things aren't always going to come on time. But as we go into this showcase, one of the common themes that I hear is I don't know enough about things that you've announced in the past, like even more specifically going back to 2020. And I'll just run down a quick list of it. Vowed, Perfect Dark, Everwild, which is something we really don't know that much about. Fable, State of Decay 3, Contraband. Obviously, we've seen a little more in Hellblade 2. We have studios like In Exile and Compulsion Games that we know are working on things, but we haven't seen any real updates on that. So I titled all my questions Balance and Communication, because even in this, it's like, what is that balance on when you show something that is going to be years down the road, and kind of that cadence of providing updates along the way?
Yeah, they have about 23 studios, and Phil is one guy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
23 studios, and Phil is one guy. You can't get pissed off of him. You got to get pissed off at the heads of each of these individual studios.
Yeah,
it's software ID. They make the Doom games. They're doing fine underneath Microsoft so far, to what I know. Mojang is still doing fine with Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. And this is where the debate gets mucky, because there is some things with the studios, right? If they're letting the studios have their creative freedom, then at some point we do have to point the blame here at the studio itself for not releasing the information. Phil is only going to promote what the studio
sold them
is ready. Yeah, it has the demo
ready.
Or whatever.
And here's the thing: is he's the boss. He's the boss. He's the head honcho. How many of you in the chat have lied to your boss?
Yeah,
to
and
make
been
it
like,
seem like you're doing a better
yeah, it'll
job
be
than you're doing
ready.
it. So when you go on that promotion, how much have you bullshitted them so you can get that promotion or that raise?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
all have done it. Everyone's done it. That's what
yeah,
they're doing to him.
yeah, and that's the point. Like, there has to be an accountability. Like, yes, I don't believe the grunt who designs the animation and stuff is at fault, right? The guy at the really lower level. But the head of, like, making sure the shit comes out, or the marketing person or whatever, whoever the fuck, right? They don't give a demo to Phil. Phil doesn't have anything to show for that game. So someone could come out, I don't know who the fuck makes Fable, right? But I'm just going to use it as an example. They could say, yeah, Fable 4, we're working on it. It's going to be fucking revolutionary, right?
Right.
And Phil's like, okay, let's promote this at the next fucking Xbox Live, blow your fucking socks off fucking conference, right? And you got a bunch of rabid Xbox fans who are
You know
fucking.
how I said id Software earlier?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
They're part of Bethesda Softworks, but they're like the strongest link of Bethesda
Yeah.
when they got bought. So like, yeah, they still, but still, I still say that they were the strongest link, and there's all these.
So it's
Yeah.
like you have them and they're like ready to go, right? And then he goes up to fucking the people who make Fable, and they're like, he's like, all right, I got this fucking conference coming up, and I gotta show
And
this
you know how
the new gameplay.
Son, you know how I just said the thing with the you can pan up things with the trailers and you lie to your boss?
Yeah.
What if they have some bullshit that they hand to him that he goes, oh, and then he can think it's fine? So if he thinks it's fine and they just lied to him, now who the fuck's to blame?
Yeah, and that's been the problem.
It's like if they give them a demo disc, remember demo disc, and you're like, oh, this is a pretty good game on the demo disc, and then the actual game was shit, or vice versa, and it was a really better game than demo.
Husky, the perfect example. We showed in the top of the hour, go back and replay like the first fucking 5 minutes of the stream, or 2 minutes, because it's a 2-minute trailer. We showed the trailer of Redfall. Guess what? It doesn't have live cutscenes. It has like watercolored still frames for cutscenes, right?
Right.
That was
And
not
it had quote unquote gameplay, but I don't believe it as gameplay. They could have even, and I said they should have bullshitted it and made it look like it had a HUD to confuse to make me think that was actual gameplay.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't even take that step into dedication because they're like, oh no, we got it. No, if you want to show me gameplay,
it says in the trailer, not actual gameplay footage.
Yeah,
it says it right there.
They do that shit too. They'll hide
that. Yeah, exactly. So it's not just on Phil. The devs and the company, the studios, not necessarily the devs, because I know there's an argument. Devs work hard, whatever. Okay,
right.
I'm saying the fucking studios themselves, the head person in charge of the dev team. It is up to them to give Phil a fucking demo of the game that is comparable to the product we are going to see. And if they bullshit him and half of the shit is not actual footage of what the game is going to be like, well, then the question becomes, is it the Microsoft's fault? And this is the issue at the same time, because Microsoft needs to step in and look at these studios and fucking go in and see the actual game itself and go, that is not the disc that you gave me. And I bring that up because Janie Davis says, remember the days of demo
that's why
disc.
I said the demo disc.
Exactly. Yeah. Demo disc, right? Where you saw what the game actually will look like. That's the fucking issue.
And that's why I said, still, back in the day, there was demo discs that did not represent anything like the game they were.
So let's continue. We're 20 minutes in. We're going to get through this.
And obviously, as we go into this showcase, not that you need to reveal anything specific here, but what were some of those lessons learned from last year's showcase that you'll bring into this one?
Yeah, and you might try to get me on positive. I'm not in positive mode this week, so I'll apologize for staying in kind of cranky mode. But in terms of lessons learned, and I'll even go back to the Redfall videos on IGN of showing videos of the game running at 60 on PC, at the point knowing that the game was going to run 30 frames per second at launch on console. Like, we have to be transparent about what we're showing, that what we're showing is representative of what our console.
Said. Exactly what we were saying.
That's exactly.
He's got to be transparent to us, but they also need to be transparent to him. There has to be good communication all the way through. If there's not, then there's going to be problems. And I would still say, I wouldn't be surprised if they have lied to him because he's the boss. He's the head honcho. If you want to get that raise and stuff, if you want that payday, you're going to lie to your boss and saying you're doing better than you actually are.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry, I had to pee for a second, but absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. There has to be a point where you hold the studio accountable for the misgivings of the game. And yes, studios get fucked over all the time. I'm not saying that the developers all have this clear pathway. We've seen plenty of situations where the studio got fucked. But here's the thing, folks. If you have a guy like Phil Spencer, who owns your studio, and you have a great track record, and you're making a game, and this game is a make or break, like, sometimes you're going to bend the truth to try to persuade your boss to get this game released. And that's the facts. And it's not a knock on the fucking poor bastards who are working hard to get this game to run. It's a condemnation of the fact that they need to lie to get this fucking product made. But there has to be a point where Phil or the people in charge are doing quality control. And that's the point, right, Husky? There's no quality control being implemented along the way from either side.
Right.
Yeah, so if Phil thinks that the studio is giving him the best quality and the studio is fucking lying, then, I mean, we have to hold accountability to both parties. I don't just see this as laying the blame on one party or another. There has to be a middle ground where you hold both parties responsible, because at the end of the day, it was on Respawn to deliver the final product, not Phil Spencer.
Well, hey, why are you saying Phil Spencer? Whoa. That's EA, and EA has less studios they oversee, so that's why I say 23 compared to what I believe EA looks over, what, 8 maybe, like Bethesda did?
But
maybe even less.
Still,
actually,
still,
so there is more communication.
But what I'm saying is, it is still up to the studio to deliver what they promise. If you have a partner and they promise you something, it is up to you and the partner to deliver the quality that the consumer is expecting. And I think it's bullshit, these #FirePhil things, because Phil is just the man in the middle promoting it. Yes, he oversees it. Yes, he should make sure it's quality. But there comes a point where you're fucked and you gotta play the cards you're dealt.
Right.
I mean, there is.
I had to look up EA's thing. There's a handful of these companies I don't fucking know, and a handful of them that should be together. They saturate it to make themselves look bigger.
Yeah, it's
Full
It's all.
customer.
I can't. Yeah, still EA. I still say is way smaller than. They're big, but they don't have as many studios as Microsoft, because half of these is like a Korea studio and a Romania studio. Okay, so you're not obviously looking underneath that in the American department like you are with Respawn, Ridgeline, and BioWare and DICE. And then they put Frostbite. Frostbite is underneath DICE, so that's why I'm like, they're saturating it a bit to make it look better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To our brand, financially committed, what they're going to see, what they're going to play, and that transparency just has to get better. And I'm not pointing at anybody but myself.
That's for EA, by the way, not Xbox. Xbox has actual fucking studios.
At some point, I will have enough knocks against me that it's somebody else here. But that I think it's transparency in what we're building, what our aspiration is for the game, what it's going to look like, what the features are. And it drives me crazy when we self-inflicted wounds of kind of putting things out there of communication that's confusing or misleading about what the actual end product is going to be. So you can try to take me to positive space. I'm just not in that headspace right now. That said, when I go and I look at Showcase, and I'm not going to try to oversell Showcase here, because if I were on the other side of watching this, it's like, hey, after Redfall, I'm going to put my hands on the controller, and that's what's going to take to kind of prove to me. But that's not what Showcase is. So I'm very enthusiastic about Showcase. We're going to announce some things that people haven't seen, some new games. We're going to give updates to some of the things that were on your list. The other thing that gets me really excited is when I look forward over the next quarters, which has always been my focus of how do we get a big game out every quarter at quality, that things are lining up finally after some of the slowdown through COVID. I'm tired of talking about that. But I can now see that we've got games coming every quarter that I think will surprise and delight our customers. We still have to deliver on the creative. We still have to deliver on the technical. Not every game we ship is for everybody. We know that. Like, I'm not trying to build the one game to rule them all. We will have different creative takes and we have a very diverse portfolio when you think about the stuff that Microsoft Game Studios builds. But I like that. I think for what we're trying to do as Xbox, which isn't to mimic any of the other platforms out there, it's create our own brand and identity. The diversity of what we build, hopefully, will end up being a strength. But we have to do it at quality. We have to do it on time, and we have to show people what they're actually going to see. We have to show gameplay, and I think I'm kind of beyond that. Like,
really show gameplay, not that bullshit I saw. Show actual damn gameplay. If need to, and you got to take some random asshole for this too. This is why E3 stopped doing this, but why I'm going to miss it. What the original idea of it was, so I could take this controller in my hand. I could hand it to you. Anyone in chat could hand it to you. You could grab it and move the character around and go, oh, this is a legit gameplay, not me simulating something and pretending like the No Man's Sky fucking did. Remember that shit? You remember that?
Oh yeah, No Man's Sky. And
I didn't even fucking touch the controller, and they're just fucking playing. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Janie Davis said at General Zod's Phantom Zone, Phil is paid to be that guy and gets the blame. I'm pretty sure it's a huge chunk of his job. And yeah,
that's what I said. He's the top guy, but he's also the big spokesperson for Xbox. So who's going to get all the blame? It's like, that's why sometimes when people like Star Wars, they blame Kathleen Kennedy. I'm like, okay, is it some of her shit, or is it the people above her?
I believe 90% of the disorganization is her, but I do believe some of it's on the directors too. Like,
well, yeah.
But
I don't, and this is where I come to think of things. Like, some people are like, oh yeah, there's a nice boss and stuff. And I don't think Kathleen, and no, that stars Kathleen. I don't know if Phil Spencer's this guy either. You need the person that comes in, really puts their fucking foot down, and is the asshole. You do need that.
Yeah,
you can't always be when you're in that position. You do some. And people are like, no, I don't like that. I'm like, well, you look at the Let's see. It's the History Channel has this thing, the blank that built America. They have the men that built America, the Titans, and they had several different things. Like the men was the original Titans, Rockefeller, Morgan, Carnegie. Then you have the those Titans. There's one with the cars, and that one goes around more of the world. Then you have the food, and this one's the longest series because there's so many, and it's of all these different places came up to be, from cereals to fast food. And the thing a lot of these people have in common, where they got where they are, is that some of them were nice, but they had to be an asshole, and they had to put their foot down so they could go into a direction with the company.
And that's
why
what
people like, why are they had to
asshole. We need
Henry Ford was a jackass.
Yeah.
But
and
he laid the foundations for what Ford would eventually become. And then Ford became even more powerhouse after Shelby, who also he was a nice guy, but behind closed doors, he knew how to put his fucking foot down and get what the fuck he wanted.
Exactly. And what we need is that with these companies. That's
have to put your foot down sometimes.
Our players. There's nothing else.
If I could follow up on that, and I apologize, I do not want to dominate the conversation, but I make sure I want to follow up on the point of everything that you just said, and I'll take it from a personal standpoint. I've been a big believer in what Xbox has been building since about 2016, right? Xbox Play Anywhere, Game Pass, what you're doing with the Series X and S, just the cloud initiative, everything. I love all the services and the marketing message that you present to the community. But to your point, and for me personally,
by the way, I believe that's going to be an
My
industry standard one day. The Game Pass, or what I call the Netflix of video games.
Yeah. Well, let's continue because this is very
everyone's going to do it one day.
This was very telling of where Xbox wants to go.
Play it. We all love it. But you even mentioned, delivering quality experiences every quarter, things like that. That's the sentiment that we get from the community right now. That's the sentiment that I even have of, it's great to talk about these things. I think we've been talking about them ad nauseum. It's like, when are we going to get to that point of actually delivering these experiences? I just ran down those games. There's 20 something studios. Forget Activision. Xbox Game Studios, what it is today. There's more than enough studios and titles out there that we're all anticipating. And I think that is the common frustration that I see out there from people, that it's like, we're tired of hearing, wait till next year. And I know you know that, but
I know.
it's like,
I know.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
This year started out well.
Yeah,
I
yes,
thought
it did.
Developer Direct was received well. The team did a really good job, I thought, with the messaging around to your point, around setting expectation. And I will even say, yes, I'm rooting for the home team here, but I'll say over delivering on expectations of that show versus what it was. I think the drop of Hi-Fi to say, hey, if you've got Game Pass, you don't even have to buy the game. Like, just go click. People loved Hi-Fi. Something we don't talk a lot about, that same month, Age 2 on console shipped. Truth be told, more people are playing a bunch of people are playing Hi-Fi and Age 2, but Age 2 actually has more players right now. But all the fanfare goes to the highly rated kind of new Hi-Fi. Get that. I know the review scores on Minecraft Legends. Minecraft, I think, always reviews somewhere kind of different than the top. But if I look at the reaction, I think we've already had over 3 million people playing.
Keep in mind, was it
its launch week? It was the #1 retail.
Jens? Is that the one who pretty much oversees Minecraft? Yeah, they have their spokesperson too that comes out. She's not the one. I believe it's Jeb, who is Notch's right-hand guy, and he still works at the studio. Yeah, he's the one that holds Mojang and the rest of the Minecraft crew to the high standard. I know he does, because he does. He's still the big voice because he was trusted with it from Notch.
And for a second, J.D. Davis says, it seems like people are either nice or bossy. It's like we forget how to do both. I agree.
Right. If you're in that leadership and you're in the thing, you got to be both. You can't, and the thing, you can't just, I mean, you want to try to be nice to everyone and stuff, but you do have to. Now, there is being too much of a complete dick and an asshole. That's why my dad left his other job. Our boss was a fucking piece of shit jackass. But
And I'm gonna end
there's,
it when we
there's
get to the end.
knowing how to get there and putting your foot down. There's you could still be a good person and stuff, but then you go like, hey, I need to put my foot down. And putting your foot down is like, hey, I need this. And you can still put your foot down without overworking your employees. You just have to go, hey, you got to basically tell them to cut the crap.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I think I'm going to definitely end this when we get to the end of the acquisition, because this is still, like, we don't need the fucking
We don't need to hear those two guys do
and
whatever.
all that shit. Yeah. So let's try to get to the end of this, and then we'll make our final comments or whatever. God damn it.
Game on the Switch in Japan, which isn't always where Microsoft sits in terms of sales. So I feel like momentum is building, and then something like Redfall happens, and the Xbox community should demand a lot from us as a team, where we sit inside of Microsoft. We've got the resources to do better. 2022 was, as you said, a very light year, I think is what you said. I might have other words for it. And then 2023, we started well, and this was a knockback. But it's our job to go and deliver on the next games. I can only look forward, right? I can sit here and wallow in my own frustration. But all I can do is say, I'm going to do better tomorrow than I did yesterday, and continue to support the teams and continue to grow. But yeah, I think it is ours to prove that. I can say now, and everybody can already stop, I don't want to hear what Phil has to say about the future, and I kind of fully respect that point of view, that we've got Starfield coming, we've got Forza coming, we've got Hellblade coming, like we've got collections of games. I'm seeing very good builds of Avowed and stuff. Like we're in, like I can see it. But until you have a controller in your hand and you're smiling from playing our games, none of my words should matter.
Shout out to Honey for sponsoring this episode. Honey is
that's what you wanted me to see, and everyone to see.
Learn. What can we learn from this failure? What can we take from this? What is teachable?
Okay,
And so I wanted to ask Phil both in general
I don't want to listen to what can we learn and blah blah blah. Whatever.
But that's why I say the one game that did come out was under Bethesda, so that was still under the view of Todd Howard. And when they purchased Bethesda, and people were like, "Yeah, it's great," I'm like, I said this. I don't think the Bethesda games will land right away when they came out. So this does put Microsoft in a bad light, though. I will say that because he just got that, and then there's that. So we'll have to actually make our judgments on the games that come later. But if it still has the Bethesda name, it's going to have some taint to it until a couple of years down the road when they can figure out how to get it out. Does not seem like Phil was very proud of that. And maybe, like I said, maybe they did lie to him. You know?
Yeah, and that's
Twitter lied to Elon about their actual user numbers when he was trying to buy them, and then he backed out of the deal. So eventually he eventually played Twitter to get their numbers so he could buy them. But yeah, you're gonna lie if you're trying to make yourself seem better.
And here's the thing. I think at the end of the day, this whole conversation comes down to, and we've done 3 hours. Thank you everybody for watching. We got 6 people watching. Thank you. I will be on a show with Perp, by the way, and so will PB, and we're going to be talking about Guardians 3, so check that out on Perp's stream. But anyways, I think at the end of the day, what this comes down to is I do agree that there is some kind of struggle with porting things onto the PC, but at the same time, consumers deserve to get the product that they pay for. If you're asking to pre-order something, you should get everything that you paid for at 70 to fucking 120 for season passes and all that bullshit.
Remember, pre-order exists not to sell, but pre-order existed, and so you could make sure you had a copy. So if you got there late, you could go like, yeah, here you go, buddy. We held one off for you. Here you go. That's what pre-ordering is supposed to be, and it's become a stupid marketing tool these days.
Yeah, it really has. And I like to thank Janie Davis. She said, I would like to say thank you to the chat and the panel for being a safe place when I don't feel good. The Zone is my internet home, and I love you all. And we love you too, Janie Davis.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody who's watching, because at the end of the day, this is a discussion. And I'm glad to have a conversation about these things where people can come and give their thoughts and their views, and they don't feel attacked for having the views that they have. We've always tried to do that, even when people have talked shit about this panel. I'm looking at you, Senate. We still enjoy that constructive criticism, and that's the problem today. Is that we don't sit down and talk about these things. At the end of the day, it's not just Phil Spencer. It's not just one person who should shoulder the blame. I think the blame, like with Alec Baldwin or anything else we've ever talked about on the Phantom Zone, the blame doesn't land on one person. It's multiple things that happen that every step of the process, somebody in that step fucked up and should be held accountable, right?
Well, Zod, you're military. What happens when somebody in your platoon fucked up, or like in?
Oh yeah, it's like dominoes.
What they do.
It's
what
like
they
dominoes.
do, and then so then what does your sergeant major do?
He punishes everybody, every single person. It does not matter, even a lieutenant, whatever. Everybody took the blame. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't just one person. The unit failed as a group. And that's what the key thing is. It's not just Microsoft and then the studio's blameless. It's everybody put out something shitty, and they should all be held accountable for the action of releasing something that was not prepared. They could have lied to Phil, which led to Phil promoting something where he didn't have all the facts, and now he's got to backtrack and defend the studio.
Oh yeah, I should have disclaimed that, because I'll disclaimer it now. I'm not saying it did happen. I'm saying there's a possibility.
Yeah, there's a possibility.
I don't know. Because you couldn't. I think I said he's the boss. You would lie to your boss, right? To make sure you look better on shit. You've lied to get in. People here have lied to get hired too.
Oh yeah, we've all done it. You say, oh yeah, I could do that thing, and then you kind of learn as you go because you want the job that pays more money. And look, I'm not saying that lying to try to get yourself in a better position in life is necessarily wrong. There's a morally gray line, but what I'm saying is that at that level, when you're dealing with billions of dollars, that kind of a lie, when you know your job and you know you can't technically provide that, that's devastating. And you put other people in a position where they got to cover your ass because now their job is on the line. And I think it's unfair to just say it's one person. Arcane Studios should be held responsible. Xbox should be held responsible. All the people along the process that let shit slide should be held responsible. Like when they said they held the Eternal review, right? We all know that's bullshit. No internal reviewer is going to go, oh, your game fucking sucks. Like you said, outsource to other people who are going to be truthful about the gameplay experience, right?
I'm starting to think that's probably what you need to do. They probably you probably have to
go
send it to this group over here. And you can do this anonymously on both ends. Like, I don't know who you guys are, and I don't know who we are. They're like, here's this game, play it. and then they can give you the brute. Because I'll tell you this, we did this thing in school. There's a few people that was like, holy crap, I'm a dick. I found out I'm a massive fucking asshole through this. I was like,
Really? I don't believe that.
and they said also look at yours because they did it. I'm like, no, I'm not looking at mine because I know if I'm a dick to them, they're going to be a dick to me. So I didn't look at everyone else's criticism, but I went in. Oh god, yeah, I was. If they decided to not elaborate or they made up a fucking word, I just fucking brutaled the shit out of it. There were some times though where it was actually good and I was actually overly nice. But oh
Yeah,
boy, if it pissed me off right away, I gutted it. I gutted it. I'm not gonna say I butchered it because butchering means I cut it up all nice and neat. No, I slaughtered that fucker.
Yeah,
it didn't look pretty.
And that's the thing. I don't think there was a lot of pushback because they're also wanting their jobs too. So I don't think there was a lot of pushback on how bad the game was. So who's to say that this was necessarily all on that testing team? And this is where you get the domino effect, right?
Yep.
Because if the people who are reviewing stuff are not giving you an honest answer, and the developer is not giving you an honest answer, or the fucking studio that's in charge of the project coming out, and it's a nasty ass domino effect that infects the whole track of the game. So I think at the end of the day, there should be a higher standard across the industry being held. And if I'm going to drop $70 or $120 to get DLC and skins and all this other bullshit, then I should get the product I pay for. And that's what this whole stream has been about, because I talk a lot about movies and I talk about we've mentioned music through this stream and everything else, right? Even if an album sucks, you still get everything that you pay for. Now, whether or not it's good is subjective, right? Because then we're talking about the art. You might not like the direction.
I mean, I still go to movies, and if they tell me there's going to be another part to it, they say to be continued. I also don't go to a movie and then miss like the middle chunk of it because that's how it rolled out. No, I missed the middle chunk of it because something happens, like you have to shit.
Yeah, and this is the problem
now.
Like, this is the problem. Like, say Star Wars Project sucks. We still got all the episodes. It was just crap.
It was garbage. And then there's also the argument with the CGI and the thing. I'm putting that to the side for the sake of this argument, because if you keep dissecting these things, eventually we'll just be here all night.
And Janie Davis says everybody wants a scapegoat, but things are rarely one person's fault alone. Exactly.
Right. Remember all those videos that said they fired the person that did this stupid decision in Star Wars, and we all came on the panel and we said, yeah, they fired the coffee guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fired the coffee. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, no.
But along the way, even with Star Wars movies and everything else, there's always multiple things that happen. But at the end of the day, you've got to hold those people accountable for their action. And I think, especially in gaming, passing the buck has become so fucking commonplace. And then you got people who would defend shit, so you get more shit. And my whole
point in the gaming, because there was a while in the music industry, and this was before me, and this was still before. And it happened during a time where they just had to get everything on albums and stuff. They kept just greenlighting everyone's shit. So there's pretty much like an era throughout the 70s and 90s. This was still before the digital, where there's a bunch of garbage. You can't find it right now. You can't find it now, but you can find it then. Are we in that era for video games and maybe even movies? Are we in that era because they're just greenlighting all this stuff so just they can get things and cash in right away?
Yeah, and that's what it feels like. And it's like there needs to be a point where, as a consumer, And I blame consumers too. We said this at the top of the hour.
Yep.
There needs to be a point where people need to stop making excuses for bullshit and start not paying these companies for mediocre shit. Because at the end of the day, if the numbers are still high enough, right? Because look at Call of Duty, like Vanguard and all that bullshit, right? And that big whole fucking
Yeah, whatever
can
Call
of
of Duty they're on right now.
yeah, they still made a shit ton of money on it. So at the end of the day, like Vanguard lost 1.3 million or some bullshit, right? So then they adjusted the time frame, but it was only because they lost that revenue. And that's the point, people. Don't make excuses for subpar fucking products. If you are going to pay that much money, then you should get what you pay for at the end of the day. And when I watched that the Synth Man review thing, right? One good point he had: if people stop paying and stop justifying video game developers giving us shit, then you'll fix the problem of a poor product. They are only going to continue to make bullshit if the market is there for it. And it's happening with Marvel right now. They're in a bit of a decline, right?
Yep.
And they delayed shit because people are stopped and they're not paying the money that they used to.
And that's
Now
why
they're going to
James
go
Gunn
back and fix
made a
it.
statement when he started DC. He says they're going to take time to write these things and flesh them out.
Yes,
The thing
because
is,
they're not
if
getting
they hired
money.
him, he could have crapped out I think next year, but he could have immediately said, "Oh, we're crapping out a fucking Superman thing right now." He's like, "No, we're taking our time to."
And they're taking their time and hiring the right people because now they're realizing people don't want the product that they have. Corporations, whether you like or hate it, it's one simple thing. If you don't pay for it, they won't make it. There's
Money
tons of
talks, and
movies.
you follow the money. So
Exactly. How many
if you guys don't like this, but I said it's too. And
How many
you're
movies
seen this way.
and
They
shows-
tried it personal. No matter where you go, you are seen as a number at some point.
Oh yeah, how many
To a
movies and
big company,
shows?
we are all numbers.
How many
Are
movies
we
and
doing
shows?
are we good numbers or are we bad numbers? Are we putting them in the red or are we putting them in the black?
And how many movies and shows, like cult classics and shit, that should have gotten sequels and another season, but they don't. And
And
they
yes,
leave
there are
in this.
good products that fall on their face and die
Yeah, exactly.
because they
the
didn't get
money
enough
wasn't
love
there.
around it.
Yes,
There
the
wasn't
money
money,
wasn't
no
there.
love.
The buzz wasn't there. But then years later, we realized, oh
Or
my
the
god,
marketing wasn't there. Like how my brother watched this thing and he said it was more than just a marketing failure for Treasure Planet. He found out they wanted they wanted that movie to fail, even though they even had a storyline for a sequel that sounded like it was pretty good. No, they wanted Treasure Planet to fail right away. It's like, oh damn, because they wanted to get away from that old animation style.
Hey, what's up, Kelly Chow? We are talking about gaming. We're doing some stuff on Phil Spencer and the breakdown of Redfall and all that. We're kind of wrapping up. You can go watch the beginning of this. But anyways, my girl loves Treasure Planet. I thought it was a pretty decent movie, but the numbers and the people didn't understand it. But now it has a bit of a fan base.
The fan base has a bit of a fan base because the fan base grew up, Zod. I'm that part of that fan base.
But
we all
here's
grew
the
up.
thing,
It's
though.
the Generation Z was the big fan base of Treasure Planet.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. And the same thing happened to Boondock Saints or any of these other fucking movies. There, Event Horizon, which was by Paul Anderson, who would
Hey,
later.
Event Horizon did inspire the Dead Space franchise, so it
Yeah.
did make a good cultural impact somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. There's all of these things that at the time were ahead of their time, but we're hitting an era where there's just a bunch of bullshit that comes out and it overshadows these other projects and these independent developers and creators who are making fucking quality and getting shuffled aside for fucking Far Cry fucking 8. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there were so many good independent games. I'm playing like Slay the Spire and things like that. There's so many good independent games that are getting pushed to the side that could be really big hits because they want the next Call of Duty to be the next big thing. Like, I have a game called Showgunners, which is kind of like Blade Runner meets fucking Running Man, right? And it's an RPG sim kind of fucking thing where you're a contestant in a death game and you gotta kill convicts. It's a really cool game, right? But probably not a lot of people have heard of it because it's a small fucking team that's making this fucking game that's really good, and Redfall is dominating conversation. You see what I'm saying? It's like there's so many options out there, and we need to promote some of them.
Sometimes you get those small independent ones that break it. I hate the game. I'm saying its name. The company broke off from Microsoft and was struggling for games, Fortnite, which sucked before they decided to jump on the Battle Royale bandwagon and re-innovate it for their own with their.
But I'll give Fortnite one thing.
But now Epic, but it
fans.
launched. The thing is, it launched Epic Game Studios to become a bit bigger and try to compete with Steam.
But I give them credit though, because one thing is they do care about their fans, Husky. They really do.
Yeah, they do.
I
don't care Fortnite, but they listen to
for the stupid fucking dances and the fucking.
They listen to their fans. They go out and get licensed for things like the Star Wars and stuff, which I find funny when people say, "Oh, it's Fortnite doing way better for the fans for Star Wars than Disney." I'm like, "Oh, you mean Disney, who's the one that told Fortnite you can use our characters?"
I mean,
I'm just saying, man. I saw some of that bullshit. I'm like, "Oh, you know what I mean? Disney's the one that greenlight Fortnite, allowing them to use Star Wars characters, but whatever."
But I mean, let's give, but we do have to give them credit.
Yeah.
At least, at the very least, they're giving their fans what they want. And yes, do they have microtransactions? Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. They have a lot of stuff with pop culture and stuff.
They have a lot of that bullshit. But I have even dabbled in it a little bit just to get a sense, you know what I mean, to do a stream. And they do have a lot of shit for people just coming into the game. They're very good with kind of getting people acclimated to the system. And that's the difference, right, between a company that doesn't give a fuck about their player base to somebody who actually cares and wants to cultivate a fan thing. And I think that's where we blur the lines with the free-to-play model, right?
Keep in mind, Epic Games did make the original Gears of War trilogy. Some people say 3 was weak, but like 2, I saw some behind the scenes of 2, and it's still, there's that passion, that fire, that eye of the tiger. I'll keep referring to it now ever since I talked about that. It was there for 2. I'm pretty sure they have that same fire behind them when it came to Fortnite.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we're talking about. Studios need to create passion. They need to get their shit together and create experiences. You can do free to play, you can do multiplayer, but build a good game around it. And just don't shit out a live service because you think we're dumb monkeys who are just going to buy this.
I still say, I'm not actually more in the post game than I ever was when I first played on my console with Star Trek. But I've been playing on Mondays. I play Star Trek Online for MMO Monday, and I kind of just stick to that because it's one.
I play Marvel Snap, Husky.
No. I'm trying to explain. because I've been sticking to certain games or one games because it helps, and I need a palate cleanser from whatever other game I have to play the rest of the week. And this game I've recommended to so many people because it's a good entry level MMO, and every time I play it, I mean, sometimes when you level up, you have to reinsert all your traits and shit, whatever. It's been that way since I first played the game. But I recommend it to people. I'm like, I don't know if you like Star Trek or not, but it's the best entry-level MMO, and it's good on console, too. You can't transfer your console saves to other systems. You can just go in, jump in, and it's an easy MMO to get into. And when I play it, it doesn't feel like I'm being held behind a paywall the whole time.
And
I mean, yes, there is one, and you can see it, and sometimes you go, "Oh, I wish I had that ship or that design," but I'm like, do I need this ship design? No,
and I
I just need one that kind of works. The style shit I could not give a shit about.
And here's the thing with Marvel Snap, I'm in the same boat. You can get every card that's good just playing the game, but you can get the premium pack, right? To get new cards, but those cards will be introduced into the game later on for the free to play players. So there are games out there that have that model where if you want to pay, you'll get that new card first, you know what I mean? But you're still not handicapped, and the players who want to wait will still have an opportunity to pull the card from a pack. So when I play like Marvel Snap and games like that, there's still companies that are building it. And by the way, Marvel Snap won the mobile game of the year award. They beat out some games, just an FYI. I will get back to doing Marvel Snap. I just
I
brought
bet Snap. This has been a game almost every large streamer's been playing. That is a boring ass fucking game to watch. It's called something like Strikers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Have you seen
It looks fun, but boring
Omega
to watch.
Strikers? It is the most. I haven't seen a game that boring to watch since fucking Hearthstone.
But at the
It is
same
a
time,
really boring game to watch.
But at the same time, like playing it is fucking funner. But yeah, I hear you because Hearthstone is boring too, especially if you don't know what's going on. But that's my point. Like there are good free to play games out there, but I think there's so much shit. It gets muddled and lost in transition. But we're at 3 hours, and I kind of want to start to wrap things up. So, in conclusion, we need, and this is not just games, movies, television shows, everything else.
Anything of entertainment.
Entertainment. We need to speak with our money. Stop. This is not just on the company. This is on you, everybody watching. Stop giving companies money for bad products, people. If you want to change what's coming out, you have to speak with your wallet. Because at the end of the day, like Fantastic Beasts, right? They're not making another movie because that third movie did shit. So you've got to stop paying for bad products. We can bitch, you can bitch, your neighbor can bitch, but if you're still going to go out and buy the next game or the next product that comes out or pay for fucking Candy Crush on your phone or any of that other shit, then they're going to keep on hitting you with ads and add-ons and all that bullshit. At the end of the day, I wanted to do this because I know Husky is passionate about it and I'm passionate about it too. We can't allow game and creativity to be destroyed because these companies think that cryptocurrency and all this other bullshit is the future, and they start giving you all of this.
Yeah, that shit too. That's the thing. That's the thing. A lot of gamers who unite. Yeah, keep gatekeeping that shit. Keep crypto out of games.
Don't let this shit ruin what should be a fun hobby. And at the end of the day, our hobby is being destroyed by corporate greed. And we have to, as consumers, fucking shut our wallets and say is enough enough. Do not give me a 75 fucking percent completed game when I paid $70 for 100% fucking completed. I don't want half the levels gated off by a paywall. I don't want to be fucking held back because I don't have the pack for next season, okay? I want to play a game all the way through without having to pay an extra fucking $30 on top of the $70 that I already fucking paid for your fucking game. Okay? Stop it. It's not fucking cool. Stop fucking gating content.
Audio went out. Still out. It's still muted.
Sorry about that. At the end of the day, this is what it comes down to. Stop giving money to people who aren't giving you a full product. You need to get what you paid for. If you are not receiving that product, then do not give them money. That's what this whole conversation comes down to. And thank you everybody for watching this, because I think it's important. We need to save our money for shit that is done, that's completed, and we should not be paying companies for a half-assed, unfinished product. That's what this discussion comes down to. We need to speak with our money. Stop paying people for half of a game. You deserve better than that. You are the consumer. At the end of the day, if a game fucking pisses you off because of the story or whatever else, then that's a you problem.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, like, okay, you don't like the story? That's kind of a you thing. But the game is complete. The game should be fucking complete. If it's not finished, don't pay the money for it. That's what this comes down to. You deserve better. Don't let the companies keep on feeding you this half a game bullshit, and you're paying them $30 more or $40 more for content you should have got when you paid fucking $70. It's bullshit, and it shouldn't fucking happen. And yes, Janie, this is my fourth rant because I'm very passionate about this. We need to...
We both had our rants in this fucking stream.
Yeah, exactly. We need to get what we paid for.
If it wasn't for video games, I probably wouldn't have even pursued the streaming side of things.
Yeah, so Husky is as passionate as I am.
I might not even talk to these guys as much with entertainment. I think a lot of things with video games has led me to where I'm at right now, which is a fucking loser.
And
right, but it has.
But at the end of the day, you're just as passionate as we are. We need to preserve what gaming and what even media, like watching movies and shit, what it used to be. If we lose that, then we are accepting that companies can just decide what the bare minimum is to keep people happy. And at the end of the day, that's not what art is about. In games and movies and all of this shit that we love is art. And art should be about what the artist is passionate about. And if there's no passion, then there should be no fucking money towards that. The passion and us talking about how creative something is, that should be the conversation. Not that a game got released and half the fucking levels are missing because they want to charge you $30 later for the fucking rest of the game. That should not be the discussion. It should be about what the creator wanted to tell us, what the story is about, and that should be what we are talking about. And if we're not having this discussion, then it's a fucking problem with the people in charge, not with us. It's a problem with the industry, and it's a problem with the people putting this shit out. and they need to do better. And if they don't, then we don't need to pay. That's the fucking bottom line of it all. Fucking amen. I'm going to end that. Husky, you got anything coming out? Anything you want to promote before we get the
I've
fuck
been side project. This is why I haven't uploaded. Well, I don't think I heard that that's bad to just always upload a bunch of Twitch clips and you got to keep stuff original. I've been working on a project, not telling much about it. Somewhat of it is to promote the channel through my YouTube. I have to finish writing the script and then I have to figure out how to do a couple other things. So that's work. But while I'm working on that, you could still see me about Monday through Fridays, starting at 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 should usually be the cutoff point. If not, sometimes I do go a little bit longer if I get distracted. But yeah, it's 9:30 a.m. Central on Twitch TV, Cybernetic Husky, which I do not have the fucking link to right now because I didn't have it ready. So I'm an idiot. But I'll get that into you for you guys.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
everybody
so
go
I'm live on Twitch. Come in, chill out. You don't have to talk. People are like, you don't have to talk. If you need a lurk to lurk, it's fine. Twitch, if you do think you need to like say one thing though, so Twitch sees you, it's okay. But if you just want to come in and you lurk, you're fine. I've tried not to say it. Sometimes if I do see you though, I'll try to say something. But usually if you don't reply or something, after a while I end up getting the hint. Don't worry about it.
And Janie says that Cybernetic Husky, I don't think you're a loser, but if you are, you're our loser. Oh. And this is Cybernetic Husky's Twitch stream. It's
I got several
Twitch.
things set up on the Twitch. If I got it set up correctly, 100 bits or resubs, you get the well, I changed the goals because all these subs just dropped off. Anyways, or the resubs. What am I thinking of? I hate this. Yeah. Okay, so I have bit alerts now you can see on my page, and you can get those, and they'll play sounds and stuff on my stream. I also have channel point redeems that play a few points. You get channel points by just sitting there lurking in the stream. I mean, it's a slow build up, but you get them by just lurking in the stream. And then you can use those to redeem some sound drops or stuff. And I embarrassed myself, and no one was there to see me because I attempted to sing. And I made that. If you donate 500 bits, I'll find a song and I'll try to sing it. You don't have to say. You can say I don't want that though either. But I also made a channel point redeem for it. So yeah, it's embarrassing. It makes me uncomfortable, but it gets me. It helps build up my confidence level, which I think is more important than anything else.
Janie did bring up a problem with Twitch is that they don't play in the background like YouTube Red. I agree, but still go over there and support.
Subscription, you don't get ads.
Yeah. Definitely go over there and support.
And it's a subscription to my channel.
Go
support. I'm not asking for money at all because Twitch changed things, which made it a 50-50 split. And I thought I had a big payout a while ago. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh, fuck. I didn't get any of that.
Yeah, go support Husky.
I just I pretty much promote the subscription thing so you can you don't get ads. That's and then if you have Discord at all, I think I set up a thing for you to have a special Discord. You get a special channel in Discord, and you can use my emotes that I have globally across Twitch and Discord.
Yes, so go check that out.
That's something that's fun. That's the fun part of the subscription. Subscription costs money. A follow is free. It's different on Twitch, but I have to explain. I know I have to explain it to people that aren't familiar with it.
So go check out Husky. Go support his channel over here in the Fandom Zone. I've got a couple of reviews coming out that I'm working on. I will have Guardians on my channel with full spoilers, but I'm also going to go on Perp's channel. There'll be a Perp stream with me, PB, and a bunch of other people I never met, which will be fucking hilarious and fun. So go check out PurpMinded's channel, PurpMinded Show, or PurpMinded 420, whatever he's going by these days. go check out his YouTube channel and go check him out on Twitter because he posts the link to the discussion, and I'm sure it's going to be a great discussion. Also, I have a bunch of reviews coming out. I'm going to do From. I've got a couple of new movies that have come out this year that I want to review. The Whale and a bunch of other shit that I'm working on. Finally, my Sons of Anarchy retrospective part 2. It's been a long time, but the editing process fucking sucks. So I'm going to have that coming out. And also, go check out the Prophets of Geek Culture. I am doing Let's Plays for Slay the Spire. And for Marvel Snap, I'm bringing back some guides for that because I got a bunch of new cards that I built some decks around, a Guardians of the Galaxy deck for the new movie, which I'll be posting soon. So go check out the Prophet of Geek Culture. We're at 108 subs. Thank you, everybody who subbed. And, of course, remember, there is only one rule here in the Fandom Zone. Kneel before Phil.
Oh.